Then Ju Hian grabbed the sword and pulled it out. What? The sword was surprised. Master, why did you come back here? Ju Hian replied. Well, that's the thing. You don't want to die here, do you? The sword said. My master is very touched. He did not abandon me. If so, I will do my best this time. Hearing that, Ju Hian's eyes lit up. I knew you would say that. The sword was surprised. Ju Hian continued. I think we can destroy this artificial tomb because that spider is distracted. The crow was surprised. What? Now. The sword was surprised. Wait. You want to use me as a bomb? Ju Hian replied. Don't worry. I'll fix you later. The sword shouted, Mother. Then there was an explosion. After that slash, a hole opened. Ju Hian said happily. It opened. The spider was struggling with the rope when it noticed something was wrong. What? Damn human. How dare you blow up my tomb? Ju Hian said. You didn't pay any attention to me. Get the rope here quickly. We'll get out of here quickly. Come here. The rope heard that and immediately responded. Oh, yes, master. I'm coming. Then the rope rushed towards Ju Hian. The spider said. You think you can run away from me? Ju Hian sat down and said. Sorry, but I also have the skill to restore the tomb. Ju Hian quickly used his skills to close the door. The spider screamed. Impossible. How could you? The spider rushed towards the exit that was gradually being sealed. How could you destroy and recreate the crypt freely? Gradually the spider was engulfed in the new tomb that Ju Hian created. The spider tried to grab the rope but it wriggled and the rope flew out. The rope had just come out when the door was closed. Seeing that the rope was out safely, Ju Hian said. You have to be careful. Just a little bit slower and you will be destroyed. The rope said. Hey, but I survived. Ju Hian said. You seem so excited but it won't last long. The same goes for this wall. The crow then spoke. My shield will disappear. Once the shield disappears, all the pain will return. Get ready. Ju Hian immediately said. Okay. Ju Hian said now take out all the holy relic inside. Huh? What? Ju Hian smiled dangerously and said. See that sword? If you don't do it, I'll destroy you. Enjoy the pain. The Van Gogh painting said fearfully. Okay, I will follow. Perhaps because of the evolution of ropes, these holy relics became more docile. Even after the crow's shield disappeared, the pain ran through my body, but I was still able to suppress the pain with the holy relic herbal medicine. I also equipped myself with defensive holy relics and then I chose holy relics that could be used as weapons. Since my opponent is very strong, should I use S-rank holy relics? Ju Hian asked, where is the Egyptian holy relic? The other holy relics replied, they are here too. I saw them run away. Ju Hian suddenly said, what? The holy relics were talking to each other. Aren't they high-ranking holy relics? What does that mean? If we had known, perhaps we should have gone with them. I think it's better if we stay here. I can die and see my grandmother again. Ju Hian heard them say that and angrily said, can you guys shut up? And if the others come back, I will make them go to hell. Suddenly there was a loud noise. Ju Hian said, damn, stone wall. Many red eyes appeared. After the wall collapsed, a group of strange creatures came out. Ju Hian asked in surprise, what are those creatures? The spider's voice rang out once more. It said, these are all the holy relics I have collected, I will end you quickly, attack. Ju Hian stepped back in fear, damn it, what should I do? Over here Seola is being attacked by a swarm of spiders. Seola ran with the torch in her hand, angry, damn it. She turned back to look at them and said, this tomb is really dangerous, moreover, she can't find the exit no matter how hard she tries, running around in circles like this, sooner or later she will be exhausted. Seola thought, I'm going to die here. She turned back to look at them again and said, damn Jin Chai won. Suddenly, a spider web came from somewhere toward Seola. She was caught in the spider web, she struggled to pull it out but couldn't. She was uncomfortable, what was this sticky thing? When they caught her, they advanced towards her. She panicked and shouted, get away from me, get away. But they didn't care, still rushing towards Seola. She closed her eyes and accepted that everything was over. So where did the yellow light come from? That is Seola's the holy relic. The holy relic roared, getting away from my master. Seola happily realized, Gildel. Gildel picked her up. Seol asked worriedly, "Are you okay? I thought you were destroyed by her." The Holy Relic said, "That doesn't matter. The more important thing is how we get out of this tomb." Gildel ran while holding Seol. While running, Seol asked again, "How did you get in? I remember being outside." Gildel said, "There was a hole outside the tomb." She carried Seol and ran to that hole. Seol couldn't believe there was actually a hole in this place. Seol asked, "Did Gildel create this hole?" Seol continued, "It seems like Jean Chaiwon is having a hard time protecting her own tomb. That means Ju Hyun is fighting her." Realizing that Ju Hyun was in trouble, Seol rushed back to help. "We have to help him quickly." By this time the catacombs had engulfed the entire building. The monsters continuously attack Ju Hyun. Ju Hyun continuously fights off the monsters. Too much. Ju Hyun yelled at the Holy Relic, "Come here and help me." The Holy Relic crowd was noisily calculating, "Things don't seem to be going well, should we run away from here? Even if we run, we can't escape our fate. Ju Hyun, don't drag us into your business anymore." Ju Hyun said angrily, "Cowards still talk too much." A voice rang out, "So Ju Hyun, it looks like you need help." Along with that, a flame rushed towards the monsters. The monsters screamed, "Ah, what the hell is this, hot, so hot?" Nero spoke up, "Ju Hyun, why didn't you call me? This was a golden opportunity to show off my masterpiece, I'm very disappointed in you." Ju Hyun laughed and said, "Forgive me, the Holy Relics who ran away made me forget about you. Of course it's not too late to show me now." Nero replied, "Of course, look here." The spider looked at Nero and said, "Damn you traitor, you should be ashamed of being a high-ranking the Holy Relic." Nero angrily pointed at the guy and said, "What betrayal, what do you mean? Do you think you are the king of the Holy Relic or something that I have to do as you say? What a narcissistic spider." Nero continued, "I have hated you since you executed Majesty. In my eyes he is a gentleman when it comes to art." Ju Hyun suddenly realized, "What, execution? This means that the Holy Relic Majesty was executed. What happened to the two of them?" Nero said again, "If you continue to do so we will not hesitate to attack you." He raised his hand and pointed towards Ju Hyun and said, "Moreover, the person you are attacking is Ju Hyun, who has top-notch story writing skills and suits the tastes of the Holy Relics. It would be a great loss if you hurt this talented artist." The spider screamed, "If so we can only solve it with strength." "Come on, you brute spider." Nero said, "I will turn this place into my performance stage, the Golden Palace." Suddenly a Golden Palace appeared out of nowhere. Ju Hyun looked at them and smiled, "Golden Palace, maybe he's really serious." Ju Hyun said, "Those stupid Holy Relics quickly entered the palace, they were all surprised. They were elated, they finally had a place to stay. As long as they got in there they could survive." The door closed. Ju Hyun said to the cowardly Holy Relics, "Let me tell you, if you work, you will eat, if you don't work and want to eat, you will only eat shit. If you want to escape, you must try your best to protect the stronghold, whoever doesn't want it can come out." Hearing Ju Hyun say that, they had no other choice, they decided to follow any of his orders and they would not betray him. The Holy Relic rope walked towards Ju Hyun and said, "I will always be by your side, forever and ever." Ju Hyun looked at the Holy Relics, the Holy Relics probably had no choice but to do this. The Holy Relic said, "Cheer up, we are always on your side. We are from the Holy Relic Association, a group of people who have always supported you. We will not let you die here, we will help you continue writing this story." Ju Hyun asked, "Are they all from the world of the Holy Relic?" There was a voice that Ju Hyun recognized, "We would be sad if you died." The things Ju Hyun treated rudely said, "We will do anything to help you." Ju Hyun said, "Even though I treated you badly, you still followed me. I appreciate your enthusiasm, the point is, I can freely use you guys, right?" Ju Hyun thought, none of the Holy Relics seem strong or high-ranked. Then I'll use them thoroughly, I'll use that method. Ju Hyun said, "The Holy Relics were chosen to follow me, the rest go to the front lines to fight the enemy, you guys have to fight with Nero." The Holy Relic crowd wondered, "Why? Won't we always be by your side?" Ju Hyun said, "Now do as I say or I'll reincarnate you, whoever stays, listen, you guys, follow me. The rest of you stay home and take care, understand?" Yes sir. I also divided the team based on the abilities and attributes of the Holy Relics here, I left the Golden Palace with the best Holy Relics. Nero's job was to lure these soldiers and attract their attention, only then would I be able to move freely. A Holy Relic asks, "Why do we go so far?" Ju Hyun replied, "Now we will create a raid together." Raid, Ju Hyun continued, "Now those guys have attracted all the attention of that spider. The other spider will deploy all of its soldiers forward, so its back will be empty." A Holy Relic asked again, "So we will attack that spider?" Ju Hyun said, "Not attacking the Holy Relic but attacking its owner." There's no denying that the spider is a very powerful holy relic, but unfortunately it's an invisible holy relic. I looked at the body of the holy relic's owner and continued, a physical the holy relic must have a weakness. We can attack the host so that the holy relic won't be able to use its power. Ju Hyun said, before that spider realizes our existence, then we must attack him together. Ju Hyun replied, exactly, now what to prepare? Attacking, Ju Hyun lunged at the owner of the holy relic, that spider. Approaching Nero, one of the holy relics tells Nero that Ju Hyun is fed up with this. When will this war end? Another says, if this continues we will be destroyed. They surrounded Nero and the other holy relics. The one who received the order continued to drown them, not letting any traitors survive. Suddenly he felt something. He turned back to look behind him, at Jin Chaiwon's body. He noticed Ju Hyun approaching his owner. He panicked and asked loudly, what are you doing there, Ju Hyun? Ju Hyun kept attacking Jin Chaiwon but couldn't hit him. Ju Hyun looked at him and said, you're pretty good, I thought you had good reflexes, you were able to move the host even though you were ambushed. He turned to Ju Hyun and said, what do you think you can do by sneak attacking me? He continued, Ju Hyun, do you think that if you attack this woman you can destroy me? How stupid. Ju Hyun raised his hand and said, I guess I care. Then he ordered the holy relics to attack his host together. He also controlled the host to dodge and said, damn it, you lowly creatures, do you have the ability to defeat me? Ju Hyun walked up to him and told him to talk less, and look at the fight. Ju Hyun then raised his axe and slashed at the host and said, it seems like you in a human body can only dodge, if it goes on like this I can easily defeat you. The holy relic turned to look at Ju Hyun and said, don't be mistaken, this is indeed a human body, but this body is much stronger than a normal body. Then the holy relic controlled the humans to attack the other holy relics. This made them fall to the ground. He said triumphantly, Ju Hyun, look at this pile, trash is just trash. Ju Hyun laughed and replied, this is your full power, then you have no chance against my army. He was surprised, army. Ju Hyun's holy relics, go forth, all of you. Don't you dare touch Ju Hyun, our master. Ju Hyun curled his lips and thought, right, just a little more. If you back up a little more and then. Jin Chaiwon's body was now tied to his feet by the holy relic. Ju Hyun walked up to him and ordered Bayan Kanso and On Nyo, right now. The holy relic's body was sucked into a pit. The body's hand still grabbed the door to hold itself back. Ju Hyun stood there and said, this plan is not bad, I will send her and that spider to paradise. Ju Hyun told that guy, this is the door that can take you anywhere. If Bayan Kanso and On Nyo use it properly, it can be very useful. The other two holy relics said, thank you for the compliment, Ju Hyun. Ju Hyun continued, I don't want to fight you directly anymore. With this holy relic I will make you leave this place. Goodbye and see you again. The guy screamed, damn it. Ju Hyun rushed forward and pushed down the body that was trying to cling to the gate. The hands can no longer hold. Chaiwon was sucked into the hole and didn't know where she would go. The spider was now dragged along. The spider roared in anger. I am the leader of the holy relics. There is no way I can be defeated by a human. Ju Hyun said, what a lousy leader. Defeated by cheap tricks. You better leave quietly so you don't suffer humiliation. Ju Hyun continued, no matter how strong you are just an invisible holy relic. You will never be able to go too far from your owner. Goodbye, weak leader. The other monsters were also very confused when they saw this. He shouted loudly, I remember your face, I will take revenge. Ju Hyun was happy, and finally successfully sent him away. The holy relic told Ju Hyun, he left already. Ju Hyun said, close the door. The holy relic door of surprise, huh, aren't all the monsters here? Ju Hyun said, they are basically considered the holy relic. Then Ju Hyun gave a friendly and cheerful smile and said, instead of throwing them away, wouldn't it be better if we catch them and use them again? From now on, all of them belonged to Ju Hyun. The entire monster army was shocked and frozen when they heard Ju Hyun say that. Ju Hyun said, if the situation is bad, we will use it, close the gate. There was a fool who was not afraid. He shouted at Ju Hyun, say it again, you bastard, how dare you claim that we are yours? Ju Hyun pointed at him and said, don't accept it? If you want, come here, I'll fight you alone. That spider is finished so now you guys are just mosquitoes to me. Hearing that, they angrily said to Ju Hyun, do you think we will become useless without our leader, why don't we attack? Nero also rushed to gather the holy relics to protect Ju Hyun. Ju Hyun looked at the situation now and it seemed like his plan was going very smoothly. Outside, the giant lump of meat suddenly exploded. People outside were curious about what was happening inside. Was it all because of the holy relic? What kind of explosion happened? Seola stepped forward and pushed her way through the densely packed crowd, asking for permission and apologizing. While she was about to go to Ju Hyun, someone called her name. Seola asked in surprise, "Why is everyone outside?" Jaeha replied, "We were outside buying some things when this suddenly happened." "I just heard this news too." The other said, "We just finished our assigned work and rushed here when we got the news." "Wait, so Ju Hyun is home alone?" Seola is worried, the boss is fighting Jin Chae-won alone. A big explosion happened. Seola and Irene Hilton were extremely worried. Seeing the two people about to rush in to save them, Jaeha immediately stopped them. "What are you two doing? The building has collapsed, you two don't come near, but Ju Hyun." Jaeha said, "We have to wait until the battle is over, for now let's wait and hope the boss is okay. Boss can definitely get through this alone, I'm sure of it." The building collapsed. The crowd of onlookers were talking. Seola realized that the energy of the holy relic that built the tomb had gradually disappeared, which meant that he was able to defeat Chae-won. Someone started shouting, "Captain." The whole group shouted together, "Captain." Everyone hopes the captain will be okay. Suddenly a figure came out of the rubble. Ju Hyun stood up and said, "Why are you guys so noisy? It's deafening me." "Ah, it's the captain." The news was quickly updated on major TV channels across the country. Latest news, a building exploded in Manhattan, New York. Before this building exploded, there was a strange event happening on top of this building. Pandora said that it was a mausoleum created by the high-level holy relics. Specifically, the crypt was created at the residence of Seo Ju Hyun, a conqueror of the holy relic, and it is still unknown whether Seo Ju Hyun is still alive. The editor read this part, wondering what happened and suddenly became so panicked. "Wait, what? Here is the latest news, Seo Ju Hyun survived and left the ruined building." The camera immediately turned to Seo Ju Hyun. "We will contact the reporters present at the scene." Lee Seola saw him appear in the rubble and called out loudly. The captain, Ju Hyun, still had the same majestic expression, and replied in a deep and powerful voice. What was he shouting about? He stood on the rubble, looking at them below, smiling and said, "You guys can deafen me. Are you okay?" Seola asked worriedly. Seeing how he had the strength to talk back to them, she knew he was okay. "You see, I stayed in there for so long because I had to wrap souvenirs." At this point, everyone turned their attention to a pile of scrap metal next to Ju Hyun. Jae-ha and Seola could only open their mouths in surprise. What was that? Was it all the holy relic? That's right. Those are the holy relics that need your repair. Seo Ju Hyun's answer made Jae-ha hold his head and cry over his miserable fate. Oh my god. Ju Hyun's shocking return made Seola admire him even more. He defeated Jin Chae-won single-handedly and took all of her holy relics. He was truly amazing. Ha, I feel so tired. As Seo Ju Hyun walked towards them, Jae-ha realized that his expression didn't look so good. Ah, you don't look so good. Are you okay? Seo Ju Hyun directed the two of them to take turns giving orders. I told you I'm fine, Seola. We have to find a new place to live. Oh yes, the building collapsed. So we need to find a new place to live. Slave number 1, you have to check all the holy relics. See which holy relics need repair them, and categorize them. Yeah, it's a bit tiring. Jae-ha replied with a wry smile. Okay, so now I'm going to be unconscious for a week. Huh, while the rest were still confused about his words. Ju Hyun suddenly fell down, making them all shocked. Captain. They ran towards Seo Ju Hyun frantically when they saw him suddenly lying down. Boss, wake up, wake up. Oh, Ju Hyun. But Ju Hyun is completely in a coma. Wake up. Back to Jin Chae-won, I couldn't believe it. She still couldn't believe that she was defeated. We were defeated by Seo Ju Hyun. The holy relic beside her saw Chae-won so confused and tried to encourage her that we weren't completely defeated. That's because he used a trick. But this encouragement backfired when Chae-won became even more upset. So, you fell for the trick and we were teleported. A lifelong feud between Chae-won and Seo Ju Hyun was gradually established from here. Perhaps I could have dealt with him easily. From now on, don't take my place. Don't you trust me? But the holy relic didn't want it to be like that. Don't be like that. Master, you must remember that your power comes from me. The more it said it, the more it made her feel ridiculous. Hee, after that defeat, you can still be arrogant. Chae-won quickly opened the door in front of her. As soon as the door was opened, a large amount of purple aura from inside began to fly out. So this is where she hid her ultimate move. This time, I will make you taste the bitter fruit. Seo Ju Hyun. I sealed him away because I couldn't control him. However, this time I need him. The chain that bound the box was gradually opened by Chai-won. What's inside is revealed. Chai-won immediately ordered it. Awaken, find the master you want. Immediately, the holy relic flew away excitedly. Ha ha ha, fine. A few days later, New York. Yu Jae-ha is still in the process of repairing the holy relic while waiting for Seo Ju-hyun to wake up. Hey, that hurts, can you be a little gentler? Okay, be quiet so I can concentrate. I stayed up all night just to restore the other holy relics. So please stop making noise. The holy relic Nero is also very stubborn. He argued back, how dare you order me around? You're not even Seo Ju-hyun. You're just a normal slave. It kept nagging Jae-ha like that, making him want to go crazy. Yeah, go away, damn the holy relic. Yu Jae-ha tiredly put his face down on the table. Irene heard a noise outside and looked in to see. What's going on, Jae-ha? Are there any more holy relics causing trouble? Do you want me to punish them? Hearing her offer to help, Jae-ha immediately jumped up to stop her. No need, I was just grumbling a little. Don't worry about it. Seeing the other party so tired, Irene immediately suggested. Alright, it seems like you're having a hard time. Why don't you rest? Jae-ha thought she was right and agreed. It seems like I need to rest a bit. The two of them went out to the living room. The TV was currently broadcasting the news. Let's continue with the next news. Now there are many new holy relics all over the world. But they do not wait for others to conquer them. They immediately choose humans as their masters. Therefore, there was a dispute between the users of the holy relic. Yu Jae-ha was a bit curious when he heard this. What was it? A new type of the holy relic? It seems like they said that there are a lot of new holy relics appearing. But these holy relics don't build tombs, but instead choose their owners directly. This is the first time I've heard of this. What? Is there such a thing? Lee Seola also found this very confusing. It was a case of the holy relic choosing its owner based on randomness. But, it was unthinkable when there were so many people like that. It's a bit suspicious. But Jae-ha thinks, well. However, I'm a bit jealous of them. They don't need to conquer the tomb but can still get the holy relic immediately. The interviewees also shared the same feelings as him. It's unfair, the lucky people who were chosen by the holy relic. This is not an ordinary holy relic. It seems like a new type of holy relic. I think Pandora must be doing something. Because until now they have not made any move. If this continues, there will be a lot of unrest. This incident has turned into a mess. And more importantly, the captain is still resting and this has happened. He has a lot of knowledge. He will definitely guess what is going on. Yes. It has been a few days, how long does he plan to sleep? Irene sat by the bed, quietly watching Seo Ju-hyun sleeping soundly. Suddenly the sound of the door opening made her a little startled. Seola and Jae-ha went in to see if Seo Ju-hyun was feeling better. What was wrong? Was there any change? But looking at the situation, it seemed like he still hadn't woken up. He's still sleeping. It seems like he's very comfortable in the bed. She doesn't need to worry about it. He sleeps day and night. Right? Irene smiled in response. When I used the holy relic, I was also very tired. And the same thing happened. Just like him. He'll wake up soon. You two don't need to worry. Oh, right. I'll stay here and watch over him. You two don't need to be here. And this was interesting. His cute face, Irene seemed to enjoy watching Seo Ju-hyun. Jae-ha, for some reason, felt a little scared. Hey, Irene, you're scaring me. Why are you scared? Is something wrong? Being teased by Irene made him blush a little in embarrassment. To break the atmosphere, Lee Seola resolutely said, no, everyone go out so the captain can rest in peace. Irene, let's go out. Just then, the phone suddenly rang again. It was the captain's phone, right? The caller was George Hilton. Irene heard that and immediately shouted. Oh, that's my brother. Can I hear you? She quickly picked up the phone. Brother, what's the matter? George was surprised to hear his sister's voice. Irene, are you there? Quickly asked about Seo Ju-hyun's condition. How is Seo Ju-hyun? Is he okay? Then found out that he was sleeping. He was very tired. Why are you calling? There are two of Ju-hyun's colleagues here. Can you tell them? Hearing this, George said to her. Oh, turn up the speaker. He had something important to tell them. The Holy Relic user rating issued by Pandora has been updated. There are many changes now. At this point, the number of kings, which had reached 15, had been chosen. This information made everyone who heard it surprised. What? Does that mean there are no more king positions for us? Seol Ah asked worriedly. What she said wasn't wrong. Not long ago, there were only 5 people ranked as king. But now there were 15 people ranked as king. Worry gradually appeared on everyone's face. It couldn't be, we only had the captain as king. So, now we can't carry out the plan to dominate the king rank. Not really. The only way is, it's still possible. Unless we take the king rank position. This is strange. Hacking the game, Jaeha said excitedly. Regarding this matter, George was also unclear. I don't know the details. But I think it's because many new types of the Holy Relic have appeared. Speaking of which, new Holy Relics were appearing everywhere. This was also very strange. George also informed them that Pandora was still looking into the details and could not confirm it yet. However, the situation had changed too quickly. Seo Ju-hyun, this was not the time for him to rest. Irene heard that and slowly replied, we can't bother him, because he needs to recover his strength. Ah, okay. All we can do now is hope he wakes up soon. After a few days in a coma, Seo Ju-hyun finally woke up. Where is this? Irene was so happy to see him awake that she couldn't contain her joy. She hugged him. Ju-hyun, you're awake. The atmosphere suddenly became a little affectionate between the two of them. How do you feel? Does your body feel anything unusual? No, it feels normal. How long have you been asleep? Lee Seola and Yu Jaeha outside heard the noise and opened the door to enter. What happened? Is the captain awake? Smiles gradually appeared on their faces as they saw Ju-hyun awake. Oh, he's awake. He's been in a coma for a week. Are you okay? Captain, when did you wake up? I just woke up. It's been a week, actually. Looks like I was right before, Ju-hyun said in a low voice. Was everything okay while I was sleeping? His question made Jaeha and Seola feel a little uneasy. Looking at the expressions and hesitation of the two people, Ju-hyun knew something had happened. What had happened? But just then, his hungry stomach started to protest. Before I hear that, I want to take a shower and eat something first. I'm so hungry. Very quickly a plate of sumptuous food was placed in front of Ju-hyun. He enjoyed his food while listening to Jaeha's story, somewhat understanding the story about the newly appeared Holy Relic. That's right, there are a lot of news and articles discussing it. Those Holy Relics suddenly appeared and chose their owners, Jaeha said as she showed it to Seo Ju-hyun. This was still the first time he heard of it, choosing the owner himself, which meant it didn't build a crypt. Jaeha guessed it was like that, it seemed like that. Very strange, things like that are strange, aren't they? Things like that are strange, right? Those Holy Relics seem complicated right away. Besides, this has happened in many places. Right. Do you know what's going on? Even though Ju-hyun knows a lot, he still can't give a precise answer right now. There's too little information. According to your guess, it's probably Jin Chai-won or Pandora, I can't be sure yet. At this moment, Yu Jaeha suddenly remembered something. Oh, and one more thing. There was another strange thing that appeared besides the new Holy Relic. Curiosity was evident in Ju-hyun's eyes when he heard the other party say this. Pandora had identified 15 people at king rank. As soon as he received this information, Ju-hyun was so surprised that he had to utter 2 words. What? Jaeha continued to explain to him more clearly. According to George, after the new type of the Holy Relic appeared, many people suddenly became stronger. The situation seems to be much more serious than you think. That's really news I don't want to hear. Being automatically ranked as king and reaching king rank are 2 different things. I can't interfere too much with this. But it won't change our plans much. So don't worry. And finally, Seo Ju-hyun didn't think that so many things would happen in just 1 week. Still. What is it? Lee Seola didn't know about it either. Only Yu Jaeha was the one who grasped the information the fastest and most accurately. She didn't know. She must have rested too much. I've seen a lot of posts like this since this morning. He said as he pointed the phone towards Seo Ju-hyun. It is said that you have avoided taxes. And you also illegally bought and sold the Holy Relic. There are even articles saying that we are involved in a conspiracy in this world. Suddenly being labeled like this. Ju-hyun couldn't help but get angry. What the hell is this news? Jaeha, who was beside him, continued. The news was good. The worst part was, there was an article saying that he had a child from an illicit affair. Seo Ju-hyun wanted to smash the phone in his hand upon hearing this. What the hell? Luckily, Jae-ha stopped him before Ju-hyun could act. Don't be angry. That's my cell phone. The news said that the boy was 9 years old. And that he was abandoned by you. It was all a lie. Right? Jae-ha hurriedly asked Ju-hyun to verify. As soon as he finished saying this, the fire of jealousy rose, making Jae-ha slightly startled. Huh? Why does my left side feel so hot? Looking at Seola's fiery gaze, he could only explain. Calm down, it's a scam, 100% a scam. Huh? Now the heat is on the right. I turned to my right and saw Irene looking at me with the same eyes. Ju-hyun has a child. You startled me. When did you appear? How much did you hear? Brother Ju-hyun, Captain, how do you explain this? The two girls looked at Ju-hyun at the same time and said with a cold smile. Seo Ju-hyun firmly asserted that, it's definitely a scam. I'm 100% sure it's a scam. What the hell is 9 years old? 9 years ago, I was still a kid. As he spoke, he took out his phone and showed it to Irene. Okay, here's a picture, this is me as a kid. This should prove it. Looking at my white skin and blonde hair, and the fact that I'm French, it's obvious that this kid has nothing to do with you, right? They took a closer look and saw that, well, he was right. But the confusing thing was, why did this article appear? According to Ju-hyun, these articles can appear, perhaps it is the power of the Holy Relic, that ability is similar to the Holy Relic Goebbels. Goebbels, not Wade Herman's the Holy Relic. Jae-ha is right, well, that's right. When I attacked him with the sewage at the Plague Tomb, I stole his the Holy Relic, it was a golden opportunity to steal it, so I didn't miss it. Analyzing it carefully, wait, you stole it, that means that the Holy Relic is in our hands, why did that the Holy Relic attack you, you lost that the Holy Relic? No way, I destroyed that Holy Relic with my own hands. The calmness with which he said this shocked Jae-ha. What? That day I destroyed some Holy Relics that I didn't like because they were high risk, one of them was Goebbels. So that Holy Relic can't attack me because I destroyed it. Well, I did destroy it, that's why this situation is a bit absurd. There is no way that a dead Holy Relic could work, or maybe a Holy Relic with similar abilities, for example. Thinking too much would only give them more headaches, so they decided, we can't conclude now, we'll find more information after we finish eating. The news keeps getting worse, so I can't sit still any longer, but there is some relatively good news too. Yu Jae-ha also worked hard to restore many Holy Relics, the Holy Relics I often used were all restored. The Holy Relics have been restored and managed in various places, but there are still some the Holy Relics that have not been restored. It would be more efficient if I recover the Holy Relics that are useful to me first. So I have to sort these Holy Relics directly. After a long time of repairing Holy Relics, I'm used to doing this now. And I found some the Holy Relics that seemed useful, the Holy Relics, the Pygmalion's carving tools, and Hephaestus, the blacksmith's fire. Pygmalion was a sculptor in Greek mythology. After sculpting the woman who was his model, he fell in love with the statue. Hephaestus was also a Greek god. He was a very wonderful person who created all the objects for the gods of Olympus. Well, this isn't exactly his Holy Relic. This is just a flame from his forge. Pygmalion's isn't a god either. This isn't a high-grade Holy Relic. But if I give it to Yu Jae-ha, he'll definitely be able to use it well. And we've sorted things out. Our suspicions are slowly coming to light. The great tombs are concentrated in Central Asia. Some diggers say there are many of them. We're going there too. Of course Seo Ju-hyun will have to go there. Yes, I need to confirm a few things. This is a picture of a conflict between miners. Ju-hyun said as he showed the picture to Jae-ha. Isn't that Miller? Yu Jae-ha suddenly noticed something familiar in this picture. Yeah, it looks like he's preparing something. Look beside him. Yu Jae-ha followed his pointing finger and looked. Beside. The kid pretending to be my son. Looking closely, this kid looks exactly like Seo Ju-hyun. Oh, he looks exactly like you when you were little. I think this kid is actually a user of the Holy Relic. Yu Jae-ha found it hard to believe this kid. Age doesn't matter. Remember that little Medusa? That reminds me, she was about the same age as this little boy. Right. I'm going to see this kid. I'm going to teach this kid how scary it is for a woman to know her man is cheating. And we will take all of the Holy Relic as our reward. Another plan is about to be put into action by Ju-hyun. Kazakhstan, grassland area. The red light emitted an extremely powerful aura, shooting up into the sky. The resentment towards Seo Ju-hyun has spread all the way here. Damn it. We can finally conquer a complete tomb without being bothered by that Seo Ju-hyun guy. Yoon Si-woo said angrily. Suddenly that damn guy appeared. Why would he hinder those who wanted to conquer the tomb? And the person standing in front of him was Julian Miller. That annoying bastard. I really hate him. Last time he refused the invitation. This time. Hey, what about you? Yoon Si-woo asked the man next to him. He immediately recognized Yoon Si-woo. Oh, it's you. The one from TKBM. I tried to negotiate with him. But it was useless. He was very stubborn. I don't know what to do. Yoon Si-woo immediately came up with an idea. Me too. Are you uncomfortable with him? I guess we have no choice but to eliminate him by force. But others were worried. Eliminate by force. Julian is a very powerful user. A candidate for the king rank. A voice filled with confidence suddenly rang out. A candidate for the king rank. We also have a candidate. Why be afraid? I agree with that. We must eliminate Julian. Quickly. And conquer the tomb. Guinness Hauger said with a sneer. I lost a lot of money after buying the rights to exploit the plague tomb. So I'm very eager to conquer this tomb. Guinness is trying to compromise with the two of them. But the reaction doesn't seem to be what he expected. That's your business. Another voice suddenly joined in. Expressing agreement with Guinness Hauger. I agreed with that too. I worked hard to write tabloid articles slandering Seo Ju-hyun. We don't know how long these articles can last. This boy is Lewis Martin. The person Ju-hyun wanted to find earlier. Lewis's words accidentally touched on their purpose. Well, this is very true. We must quickly conquer the tomb to save the money. So they got together. Agreed. We should negotiate with him again. If he continues to get in the way, we'll finish him off. Yoon Si-woo smiled with satisfaction upon hearing that. This is what you guys should do. Julian Miller thus became their common target. The crowd then moved forward to surround him, trying to get inside. Julian Miller firmly said to the crowd, "Why are you all gathered here? Nothing will change. This crypt is too dangerous. If you want to enter, you must obey the conditions I give. You can only go in there one person, no one else." This condition of Julian Miller made Yoon Si-woo very angry. What do you mean? One person? You want me to go in there and give up my life? The two of them argued like that. This is a trap in the crypt. You have to trust me. I can't let anyone be in danger. What are you going to do? Be a hero? Lewis Martin saw that the situation was getting tense and spoke up. It was useless to argue with him. Let's get started. So Guinness Hauger and Yoon Si-woo split up and took action. Okay, we'll take them down by force. I'll draw attention. We will attack at the same time. Yoon Si-woo originally had no intention of attacking Julian. He had originally wanted to compromise with him. Hey, Julian, can you change the terms a little? If I go in alone, we'll die too. This is too unreasonable. Each team will be allowed to bring 5 people. But before he could finish his sentence, a voice suddenly interrupted. Hello, 500 brothers. It's rare for 500 guys to gather here. Want to go on a trip? They looked over and saw that it was Ju-hyun. His appearance made them a bit worried. Seo Ju-hyun. Seo Ju-hyun leisurely walked towards them. Smiling, he replied. Yes, it's me. Julian saw Ju-hyun and asked. Seo Ju-hyun, are you awake? I just woke up a few days ago. You really are a great slave. Without my command, no one can enter. You really did it. These words of Seo Ju-hyun made Julian feel puzzled. But, you don't need to worry now. Your handsome master is here. Hearing this, Julian couldn't help but get angry at him. What the hell are you talking about? Why am I your slave? The crowd immediately understood when they heard Ju-hyun say that. Julian Miller was Seo Ju-hyun's subordinate. I've never heard of this news. In an instant, Julian became their target. So, the reason you didn't let us in was because of Seo Ju-hyun. No, he's talking nonsense. Julian loudly denied. Because of Seo Ju-hyun, he became the target of the crowd's attacks. Julian immediately turned to question Ju-hyun. Seo Ju-hyun, explain clearly, since when was I your subordinate? What you said is an insult to me. I don't think we're allies when we've only been together for a short time, and you lied to me about the holy relics being plagued, right? Seo Juhian was not far behind, sneering provocatively at the other party. If you don't like it, then come here, boy. Let's see how much stronger you've become. He even announced to the crowd that Miller was my exclusive lawyer. This information surprised all of them. What, he works for someone like Seo Juhian? Julian Miller, he pretends to be kind in front of us, but in fact he is only out for his own benefit. He is not worthy to stop us from entering the crypt. Faced with the immense attacks from everyone, Julian's eyes towards Seo Juhian became increasingly filled with resentment. Seo Juhian. And when he couldn't take it anymore, he directly attacked Seo Juhian. The blow just now created a rather loud bang. Luckily, Juhian was able to avoid it in time. Seeing the other party so angry, Juhian was still teasing him. Why was he angry? I'm not lying. This is our contract. Juhian quickly took out the contract to show them. I made a contract with the devil. Julian shouted angrily. The two of them chased each other like that. Julian kept attacking while Juhian toyed with him, leaving the others confused. Hey, what's going on here? Looking at the situation, Lewis and the others guessed that they were fighting. So they weren't on the same team. A plan to trap Seo Juhian was quickly set up. Julian Miller was fighting against Seo Juhian. If we all help Julian, maybe we can destroy Seo Juhian. So, we'll change the plan, help Julian Miller. Not a bad idea. After reaching a compromise, Yoon Nasai Woo loudly ordered the others. Agreed, attacked Seo Juhian. They immediately went to Julian and said, we will help you, Julian Miller. We will beat Seo Juhian to a pulp. We will not let this opportunity slip away. So Seo Juhian was in a one-on-one situation. But he was still very calm and laughed loudly. Ha, a bunch of trash teaming up. Think you can beat me? Do you know who I am? Those people relied on their large numbers to speak boldly. You won't be able to talk nonsense anymore, Seo Juhian. This is the end for you. If they want to fight you so badly, then of course you can't let them off. Shoo, idiot. And the truth behind that scene was, Juhian was actually inside the tomb. The person they were trying to fight was Seo Juhian's clone. As for Juhian, he really just needs to sit back and enjoy the benefits now. Ah, I heard a lot of noise. Looks like they took the bait. What you see before you is the power of the holy relic Pygmalions. To be more precise, the Juhian out there is a fake. While they're fighting over there, we'll take all the holy relics here. Then we'll go out and teach that little Lewis a lesson. Juhian and the other three quickly went deeper inside. This was the entrance. They followed the path and entered. On both sides was a huge army of earthenware. This made Yu Jaeha a little worried. Was he sure? The main road was too narrow. But he heard Juhian shouting that the tomb owner's place was here. We'll quickly go down below. Seo Juhian quickly blew a hole. And as the rocks and soil fell below, the gate for them to go down also opened at the same time. Now they just need to hold on to the rope to get down. Their first impression when they entered was that this secret chamber was large enough to contain the entire statue. Juhian thought the same as Seola. He felt that the energy of the holy relic was very strong. But this statue is different from what we have seen before. Well, I think there are many secrets in this tomb. Riddle? And the grid pattern at this frequency is also quite strange, then the statues here also feel familiar. It reminded him of a chessboard. Was this human chess? You want to play chess? The holy relic appears and compliments Juhian. You realize this very quickly. You must stand in the position of general. I must test whether you are worthy of being my master. Okay, I'll play with you. Seeing him agree so quickly, Yu Jaeha had the intention of reminding him. Boss, are you sure about this? But looking at Juhian's confident smile, he knew he was worrying too much. Don't worry, I'll handle this. Seo Juhian quickly took the position of general as the holy relic said before. Please go ahead, warrior, the holy relic said politely to him. Lee Seola and Yu Jaeha who were watching from the sidelines looked very worried about him. Was this going to be okay? Boss, he really knows how to play chess. If he really didn't know how to play it, there would be no way to win against that holy relic. Juhian did not choose to follow what the holy relic said. He suddenly spoke up and said, before we start, should we set some rules? The holy relic still did not understand what he meant. What do you mean? How to play this? Shall we play Chinese chess? Seo Juhian asked the other person in a low voice. Chinese chess, xiangqi, in China is exactly the same form as jangi chess in Korea. In my country it is called jangi and there are different rules in the game. As soon as he said this, the holy relic looked very surprised. What? Xiao Juhian patiently explained to the holy relic that in Chinese chess there is a river in the middle of the board, while Zhangyi does not have one. The pawns can move horizontally from the start because there is no river. Zhou and Beiyang are pawns. Zhou is the term for the island side and Beiyang is the green side. In Chinese chess, the cannon can move freely. But we don't play like that here. The cannon has to pass through other objects before it can move. This is still acceptable in the holy relic. If it were those things, it wouldn't matter much. But Juhian still hasn't finished. That's not all. The bishop will move more easily and can easily reach the enemy's defense. Just imagining the holy relic is already a headache. Wait, there are too many differences between the two countries. To make this game fair, we need to define the rules. The holy relic also agreed with his words. I agree with you. Hearing this, Juhian secretly smiled confidently. He thought. That's right. You should do that. My prey. Xiao Juhian had already researched this holy relic thoroughly. On the way here, I learned the identity of this holy relic through the text I saw. This is the holy relic, the art of war. The Art of War was written by Sun Tzu, an ancient Chinese general. Some quotes in the book are very famous and receive a lot of attention. For example, if you know the enemy and known yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. However, since this is the holy relic with a very strong storyline, there is no doubt about his strength. The holy relic will easily win this chess game. So how to beat it? Because I don't know how to play chess myself. I can't force myself to do something that I can't do myself. On the other hand, each country's chess has its own rules. Chinese chess originated in India and was known as Chaturanga, then spread to the eastern countries and was transformed into Xiangqi, Zhangyi, and Shogi. And after being incorporated into Europe, Chinese chess became a widely popular game. During the process of spreading this game, many rules were changed. Although Chinese and Korean chess are similar in form, the difference in rules on the board is too great, so the game will not be fair. This was indeed a serious matter, quite a difference between the two countries, and he took advantage of this point to make the opponent play on his playing field. The holy relic even took the initiative to suggest, I have a suggestion, do you want to hear it? Tell me all the rules of Zhangyi chess that you know. The current developments were completely consistent with what Juhian had previously gathered. He smiled and replied, no, thank you for your offer, but can you understand everything? It seemed very confident that I was the embodiment of intelligence, I could understand everything instantly. But Juhian's answer was still the same, no, that would make the game unfair. Yu Jeha, who was outside, heard this and felt that this scene was a bit familiar. It was still the same as always. The holy relic still tried to plead with him, it was okay, it was very fair. Juhian's plan is still going well so far, I will continue to reject him, I won't play this game with you. I'll try to drop the bait again, he immediately suggested, why don't you give me another challenge besides playing chess? Isn't direct war between two armies the way to show military spirit? All the chess pieces here are fake, you directly hit its pride to provoke it. Immediately, the holy relic felt himself, changing the challenge, that was insulting me. But that was exactly what you wanted, I was just thinking this was necessary for you to be able to submit to me. Why don't you fight a real war? You say you are the holy relic that shows intelligence, but you yourself have no confidence in your own intelligence. These words from Xiao Juhian made the holy relic quickly fall into silence. Come on, take the bait. And the moment it uttered the words, you will regret it, brave man. From this moment on, it officially took the bait. Juhian had a perfect grasp of his opponent's weakness, just as he thought, provocation would work on the holy relics with high self-esteem. The holy relics still didn't know that they were being played by Juhian, so they were still very confident in showing off that the statues weren't just ordinary masterpieces. Each of them is a very powerful weapon of war, you will have to deal with these powerful elephants. You will regret insulting me. I do not understand why you refused the challenge I have given you. I certainly gave it politely, but you still did not accept it. Alright, now it's time to start. The Holy Relic's army started moving as per its command, causing the ground to shake, making Jeha somewhat panic. Wow, we're going to get trampled. But that was what Xiao Juhian wanted. This was better than playing chess. Yu Jeha still didn't understand what he meant. Really? I don't think so. At that moment, Yu Jeha's chest suddenly tightened in pain. His body kept shaking. Ah, why does it hurt so much? Looking at his expression, Xiao Juhian guessed that it seemed like my fake body had been destroyed. Jeha couldn't help but wonder when he heard that. What? How did you know? Juhian slowly explained that if a statue made from the Holy Relic Pygmalions is destroyed, the owner of the Holy Relic or the creator of the statue will be affected. That was the side effect of the Holy Relic Pygmalions. Hearing this, Yu Jeha couldn't help but regret doing that for him. Why didn't you tell me about it before? So, since the fake body was destroyed, they might come here immediately, right? Lycola continued to ask. Perhaps. She immediately asked, do you want me to stop them? Ju Hyun would let her do it, but not forgetting to remind her that there were quite a lot of them. Don't fight them, just stall for time. If it doesn't work, come back here. Okay. Jaeha heard the conversation between the two of them and volunteered. I'll go with Seola, you're injured. That's why I have to leave, I'm of no use here, I shouldn't be a burden to you, he said firmly. Since the other party had already said so, Ju Hyun didn't want to make things difficult for him anymore. Alright, the two of you go together, don't forget that your goal is to stall for time. I'll come to you too after I've finished here. Seola couldn't help but worry about you when she saw the mighty army of the Holy Relic. Be careful. Don't worry, fighting like this is my profession, Ju Hyun said confidently. Outside at this moment, people were constantly confused as they realized, hey, what happened? Why did he turn into a statue? Co Ju Hyun, that bastard, he turned into a statue. Damn, we fought a statue, we got tricked. Even Julian was fooled by you. That shocked him. What? I checked it with the Holy Relic Zhuge Liang's. But I was fooled too. How could he pull off such a perfect trick? Who did this? It must have been created by you, Jaeha. He had greatly increased his power after that time at Nero's tomb. I never thought you Jaeha could develop so quickly. Is it because he was mentored by SEO Ju Hyun? Looks like Julian Miller underestimated you Jaeha a bit. After spending quite a while fighting Ju Hyun's statue, they hurriedly called out to each other. We have to hurry. That's right, we have to get into the tomb quickly. Julian heard this and once again stopped them from entering. Wait, I told you, the catacombs are dangerous. But this time, your words have no weight here. You still talk about it. It doesn't matter now. Co Ju Hyun has entered the crypt. We must catch up soon before he conquers this tomb. We must quickly catch him before he does anything again. We will make a general attack. Just like that, all of them rushed into the crypt together, completely ignoring Julian's words. Now they are inside. Being tricked so badly by Seo Ju Hyun. Yoon Si Woo was very angry. Damn, I'm in a bad mood right now. I'll let you lead this time. I understand. Lewis replied in a low voice. We can't stay here forever. Hurry up. As he was talking, a voice suddenly called Guinness Hauger. Captain, look. They looked over and saw a statue of Ju Hyun with a confident middle finger raised. The others immediately felt offended. This was crazy. This was a statue of Ju Hyun. He was teasing us. Damn. His face pisses me off. Co Ju Hyun, you bastard. Destroy this damn statue. Someone rushed out to stop them before it was too late. Don't do that. He must have set a trap or something inside this statue. We just need to get past it and chase after him. That's right. You're right. So they chose to ignore Ju Hyun's statue and go deeper into the crypt. This made Jaeha and Seola, who were hiding nearby, very pleased. Our plan worked. They all did as we predicted. I can't believe this simple plan worked. The two of them quickly followed them. Let's go too. Let's teach them a lesson together. That's right. Let's go. Jaeha is impatient. We will teach those idiots a lesson. Passing through that giant door, they entered the main hall of the crypt. Their first impression when entering was that this place was too big. It seemed like there was no holy relic here. There's nothing here. We'll continue deeper. Yoon Si Woo loudly ordered his men. Understood. Just then, the door suddenly closed, making them extremely confused. Damn it. The door is closed. We're going to be trapped here. What's going on? More importantly, the ground was starting to crack. It was then that they realized it was an earthquake. Instantly, the whole group of them fell into the mud. What was this? It was filthy. The familiar figure standing behind the door was Yu Jaeha. And of course, this scene was all arranged by him. Jaeha laughed provocatively at them. Ha ha ha. Hello, idiots. You guys thought there would be the holy relic here. Too bad it's a trap. The group of people covered in dirt cursed at him. You Jaeha. Idiot. Already brought out the holy relic to bully you. Brothers, prepare the holy relic. We will fight that clown. Without knowing that we are the ones being fooled. What a pity. I thought it was a good time to test out the new holy relic from boss. The lid was opened by Jaeha accordingly. The next second, he threw it straight at them. Taste this, you idiots. I'll turn this place into a battlefield. As soon as the bottle landed on them. As expected, the groans and complaints started. Damn it. What is this smoke? Damn it. This smell. Jaeha had thoughtfully prepared many other things for them. Ha ha ha. This stench was just the beginning. A voice suddenly rang out. Stop it. Jaeha suddenly realized that this voice was a bit familiar. This sound. Turned around and saw it was Deputy. No, Julian Miller. He was late. Stop it. You should stop everything before this gets worse. Julian Miller said to Jaeha in a stern voice. Jaeha heard that and thought. Ha? You're on their side. I'm not on either side. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. You Jaeha of course didn't stop immediately because of what the other side said. But now they want to kill us. Moreover, you signed a contract with boss. Aren't you on our side? Oh right. You're my junior. Speaking of that contract. Julian's face immediately turned ugly. I was forced to sign a devil contract. If you don't stop, I'll have to use force. Seeing Julian so agitated, Jaeha was surprised. Why did he do that? That's because you provoked me. At this point, you Jaeha couldn't be gentle with the other party anymore. Huh, then what? Do you want them to attack us? I'll give you a few seconds to think. Judging by Julian's actions, he wants to pick a fight with Jaeha. But Jaeha isn't afraid of anything. Challenge the opponent directly. Go ahead, I'm ready. There are a few other holy relics I want to try out. What are you doing? Don't make me use force. Stop it. As soon as Julian finished speaking, the holy relic that Jaeha used took effect on him. Jaeha was still worried. Was he affected by the holy relic? Then he saw the other party holding his head and screaming like that. Ah, what is this? Julian's mind kept seeing images of generals attacking, not retreating. This made Julian confused. What is this? Damn, this is an illusion. Jaeha, I had no idea when he attacked me. But this illusion is useless to me. I have the holy relic Zhuge Liang's. Julian hurriedly activated the holy relic Zhuge Liang's. But as soon as he tried to start it, his head hurt even more. The illusion became clearer. My lord, where are you? What is this? My lord, the current developments are completely beyond Julian's previous predictions. Military advisor Zhuge Liang's. Why can't he be used? Looking at Julian's bewildered expression, Jaeha on this side burst into tears of laughter. Ha ha ha, look at his face. It seems the illusion worked. How do you feel? Miller, Seola just found out. You used the holy relic illusion. That's right, this is the illusionary maze of the holy relic. I've prepared a lot of the holy relic. Plan Abx's. You Jaeha was really well trained by Isao Juhian. You can create illusions based on what you draw. But if this is the illusion of the holy relic, he will wake up soon. Jaeha has not thought of this case at all, huh? The reason Seola could say that was because she knew that Miller had the holy relic Zhuge Liang's. And it was a very powerful holy relic. But by the time Julian wakes up, they'll be done. No problem. We still have plenty of time to escape. Okay, let's get out of here. The two of them were about to leave when they heard Julian whisper, Lord, Lord. Turning around, they saw him kneeling down and kowtowing. The body was still trembling non-stop as if it was crying. I apologize to you. I failed to protect you. Oh damn, this illusionary holy relic is so troublesome. Jaeha didn't expect things to turn out like this. Huh, what's going on? Did he escape the illusion? This is confusing. Julian kept repeating the phrase, my lord, wait, the two of them wondered. What had happened to him? Half delirious, half infatuated. At this moment, Jaeha suddenly remembered. Ah, is it because of the holy relic Zhuge Liang's? This tomb is in the Chinese style. So I drew a fantasy scene based on that reference. The image I drew is exactly like the Three Kingdoms period. Perhaps Zhuge Liang's is witnessing his past. Therefore, he is being manipulated by the illusion. This means that the Zhuge Liang's are very susceptible to the Three Kingdoms era. Especially Liu Bei, right? Seola also found what he said quite reasonable. Perhaps so. Historically, the Zhuge Liang's were very loyal to Liu Bei. This information made Jaeha very excited. Isn't this very good information? Miller's fatal weakness. Suddenly, Julian grabbed his ankle, trying to stay awake while being caught in an illusion. My lord. No, that's not right. You Jeha. Idiot. What did you do? Hearing him call her name, Jeha thought, are you awake? His holy relic Zhuge seemed to be unusable. I knew his weakness. His weakness was known to the enemy. Julian was very angry. Jeha had another chance to tease the other party. Miller, you're afraid of Liu Bei, right? You don't like the Three Kingdoms era, right? Yeah, I got some valuable information. After being teased by Xiao Juhian, now Jeha. It really made Julian choke with anger. Damn it. Bastard, don't tell that to Xiao Juhon. Damn it. Ha, if you don't want me to tell that to boss, then respect me more from now on. As for Eunice Iwu's group, after a while they also climbed out of the mud puddle. Eunice Iwu's hatred for Xiao Juhian increased after this. I can't believe it. I've been tricked. Guinness Hauger immediately took out the holy relic water to help them clean. Now we will clean ourselves with the holy relic water. At the same time, Louis Martin discovered, look, Yu Jeha was busy dealing with Julian. So he didn't realize we had come out of the swamp. We can get out of here. You're right. The three of them discussed carefully. Is this okay? It seems that some of my subordinates cannot go on. That's fine. We need to move quickly with the remaining people. So they continued to go into the tomb. Both to get the holy relic and to find Xiao Juhian to punish him. Now we know that this tomb is full of traps. We need to be more careful. Xiao Juhian, I won't let you escape. But they probably don't need to look anymore because the person they're looking for is here. It's so annoying. Who's talking bad about me? Xiao Juhian, who was emitting an aura, slowly walked towards them. Cold eyes and a provocative voice. Long time no see, idiots. They saw Xiao Juhian and were very angry. Damn it, Xiao Juhian. He replied very calmly. Long time no see, idiots. It seems like you guys went through a lot of trouble to get here. But, I have to disappoint you. Worry gradually appeared on their faces when they heard Juhian say this. What? I conquered this tomb. I just defeated the owner of this tomb. As he spoke, he took out the holy relic and showed it off to them. Right now, I can use this crypt as I please. The holy relic still can't accept the fact that he was defeated by Xiao Juhian. I really lost. Those people even thought, you don't have to talk nonsense. Are you trying to trick us? Your comrades are here to stop us. You can't conquer a tomb this big alone. You don't believe I can conquer this tomb alone? Then directly verify the battlefield I created. When they looked into the distance, all that remained here was broken pieces. How about it? Want to see? When the substance that Xiao Juhian emitted made Yun Saiwu momentarily scared. Louis Martin then came out and said, if that's the case then it's easy to solve. I just need to attack you and take all of your holy relics. Little did he know that he was the one Juhian was looking for. Kid, you're Louis Martin, right? You ruined my clean reputation. How dare you do that? You will regret it. But before that, I want to hear why you did that. Why did you do that? Xiao Juhian still wanted to give Louis a way out, so he didn't want to attack him right away? Because of you, my parents died. Louis looked at him with eyes filled with resentment. He let out a loud scream. Eunice Iwu was there too, adding accusations to him. Xiao Juhian? You're a murderer. He still didn't understand why the two of them were talking about themselves like that. I don't remember doing that. I never hurt anyone without a reason. Maybe it was your parents who got to me and pulled a gun on me first. And if they do that, then they should know what the consequences will be, right? Perhaps the kid's parents were enemies when conquering the tomb. Don't make excuses. The one who killed my mother. General Kira. When his anger reached its peak, Louis couldn't bear it anymore and loudly spoke the truth. This also surprised Juhian. He didn't think Louis was Kira's son. Kira, this kid was Kira's son. Come to think of it, there were many children under Kira who were very good at using the holy relic. Was this brat one of them, like that girl? And that's why he hates you so much. I will never forgive you. You will pay for my mother's death. Louis already wanted to use the holy relic to attack Xiao Juhian. Eunice Iwu saw this and quickly reminded him. Hey, don't attack alone. Let's do this together. Who would have thought that Louis's next words would really shock Sai Wu? Sorry, but you're my puppet now. While he was wondering why he said that. Huh, what do you mean? All of his subordinates were already under Lewis's control. People around you are being controlled. Everyone sees you as an enemy. They lose their senses and become very angry and aggressive. With control over those people in his hands, he immediately ordered them to attack him. Immediately, the group of people turned into hungry ghosts, rushing towards Seo Juhian, wanting to eat him alive. You guys are pathetic, being manipulated so easily by a brat. As soon as Lewis took out the holy relic, Juhian immediately recognized it. Wait a minute. The holy relic, that is. Isn't that the holy relic Goebbels? How could it appear in that brat's hand even though I destroyed it? The system immediately displayed additional information that these holy relics were fake holy relics. However, these holy relics could display 100% of the same abilities as real holy relics. It is a fake holy relic. Although it is a fake, it can display the same ability as the real holy relic 100%. There are actually holy relics that can copy the ability. This information is very new to Seo Juhian. Only then did he realize something. Wait, the holy relic could imitate the holy relics. One of the three most influential people of the Renaissance, the holy relic by the genius artist Leonardo da Vinci. In his previous life, it was Jeha's holy relic. Thanks to that holy relic, he became a master artist. Da Vinci painted based on his scientific thinking. Thanks to constant observation, skills and knowledge of anatomy, he created many famous paintings. The holy relic of great figures like him would have incredible abilities, able to duplicate objects perfectly. Without even looking at the original holy relic, this holy relic would still be able to duplicate it. Thanks to that, Jeha was dubbed the king of scammers. Maximizing the ability of the holy relic, he could perfectly duplicate the holy relics. At first, I didn't think I would encounter a holy relic like this, but if I did, I wouldn't miss it, I would get it for Jeha. So Juhian had another reason to rob the holy relic. Go away, you idiots, I have important things to do with that brat. Just like that, with just one simple move, you can blow those people away. Anger was currently taking over Lewis, making him more and more furious. Don't underestimate me. Humans can generally only use a few holy relics at a time, but what about this? While Seo Juhian still didn't understand what the other party meant? Then the system suddenly sent a notification that the enemy's atelier is being summoned. It turns out that Lewis used the holy relic to bring the artwork to life. Now you understand Lewis's intentions. Geez, these guys are art dogs and you can control them. Even though he's still a child, he has very high control, he's very talented, a professional user of the holy relic. If he had met you earlier, he might have invited you to join his team, but fate said otherwise. And now Lewis Martin is your rival. If the opponent has the ability to control works of art, then he also has the ability to summon this giant flame. Hephaestus the blacksmith's fireball heats everything. Now Lewis knew he had messed with the wrong person. No, wait. But once Seo Juhian started, there was no stopping him. What? Why was he yelling like that? I was just testing the holy relic. Lewis was going to drag his teammates out to save the day. You were going to destroy this entire crypt. Your teammates are still here. But this trick also did not work. He believed in his teammates. They could definitely survive. Lewis felt a little sick listening to this moralistic speech. Just say that the person who did not care about them was the one who did. The next second, the fireball was released in such a way that it spread out all around. Wanting to burn everything, the people inside kept screaming in pain. Damn, it's so hot. We're going to burn alive. No way. My holy relic. Jeha and the other three on this side also started to hear this noise. What happened? The fire was so strong that it went through the door and burst out. What kind of fire was that? Where did it come from? Its heat was so strong that the three of them on this side seemed to be affected as well. What kind of fire was this? Realized the fire was coming from Seo Juhian's area. Lee Seola quickly told Jeha that something must have happened. Let's go, but we should wait until the fire is out. It's very hot in there. Juhian, who was using the holy relic for the first time, was very satisfied with its power. Wow, you're so strong? Just the fireball from the furnace was already this strong. I also wonder how strong the holy relic Hephaestus is. By the way, Lewis Martin wanted to escape while you weren't paying attention. But unfortunately, Seo Juhian found out. Catch him. Rope. The rope didn't delay. Wrapped him tightly. Where do you want to go? Where? You can't go that fast. I still have work to do with you. The rope happily showed him. I got you. I got you. Lewis writhed underneath and said. What do you want? What Juhian wanted from him was, give him the holy relic Da Vinci. Give him the holy relic. Give him the holy relic. But Lewis acted like he didn't know about it. What do you mean? I don't know where the holy relic Da Vinci is. Unfortunately, how could he fool someone as cunning as Ju Hyun? You think I'll believe you if you say that? You used the holy relic Da Vinci to clone the holy relic Goebbels, right? That's right. But I really don't know where the holy relic Da Vinci is now. That holy relic isn't mine. Lewis replied hastily. Looking at the other party's expression, Seo Ju Hyun could feel that. I don't think this brat is lying, nor do I feel the presence of powerful the holy relics from him. At this moment, Jae-ha and Julian also ran here at the right time. Boss, what happened? There was a big outbreak here. Oh, you guys came at the right time, especially you Miller. I then told Miller to activate the holy relic Zhuge Liang's to track down information about the holy relic Da Vinci. As expected, the holy relic Da Vinci was not here. But I got a very valuable piece of information. Louis Martin was very stubborn at first. I told you, I don't know anything. But his mouth betrayed him. The holy relic Da Vinci was very valuable, but I wasn't even allowed to use it. Huh? Excuse me? Only now did Louis realize he had let his mouth slip. Damn it. Tell me, who are you asking for permission from? Seo Ju Hyun coldly looked at the other party, his expression just like a villain. You need permission to use the holy relic Da Vinci. Tell me, who will you ask for permission from? Ju Hyun questioned Louis step by step. Hurry up, you little brat, tell me everything. Looking at his face, Louis immediately frowned in fear. Julian Miller, who was standing beside him, gently reminded him, Seo Ju Hyun, you shouldn't do that to a child. That was for Julian, but for Seo Ju Hyun, this kid wasn't an ordinary child, he was a professional user of the holy relic. I can't say it, because if I say it, you and I might get into trouble. Louis's words made him a little confused. What? You have the right to remain silent, but you will be tortured to death here. Immediately, the rope spun him around like a top. Master asked. Answer. Make Louis want to faint on the spot. Okay, I'll say it. So tell this rope to stop. The holy relic Da Vinci in America. This information still couldn't satisfy Ju Hyun. America is too big. Can you be more specific? Where are the people? Tie the rope. Julian Miller saw that he was about to attack Louis again and spoke up to stop him. Hey, Seo Ju Hyun? Even if I say it, you won't be able to get in. The holy relic is in the Pentagon. That Pentagon, under the torture of the ropes, Louis could only say it all. Master, he said, Pentagon? Pentagram. Hearing this, Jae-ha immediately felt a bit familiar. A pentagon. He meant the pentagon-shaped administrative body where the holy relics are directly administered by the United States government. The other party didn't say anything like this, so it's highly likely that it's true. Probably. It seems that the holy relic Da Vinci is very valuable. This means that, then, if we try to steal the holy relics, we will automatically become enemies of the United States. Of course, I said you can't come in. Now let me go. Louis spoke wearily. The rope also asked his opinion. Master, should I release him? Still can't let go. This kid still has room to use. Seo Ju Hyun's words made Louis sober up for a moment. Huh? What? Seo Ju Hyun? He wants to kidnap this child. Julian Miller kept nagging him like that, making him very annoyed. He was starting to get angry again. Why was he always nagging? Julian didn't seem to notice Ju Hyun's discomfort as he continued speaking. He had wiped out the entire excavation team here. Plus, he was holding a child captive. Then Ju Hyun also told him straight. Kid, I don't care. As long as they use the holy relic, they are all the same. You can't be a good example as an adult. If you don't want to stop, I'll stop you. Julian, do you want to play a supporting role in Ju Hyun's glorious life again? But Seo Ju Hyun was not interested in this. Hey, I fought with you earlier. Aren't you tired? I'm very tired today. Can you let me go home and rest? No way. Ju Hyun was no longer unfamiliar with the other party's behavior. That's right. He was always like this. Seeing this, Jae-ha couldn't help but remind Julian, hey, subordinate, if you're still stubborn, I'll expose all your weaknesses. I'm not just talking about your weaknesses here, I'll tell it to the media. After being roasted by the holy relic, let's see if you can still do it? Hearing that, Jae-ha fearfully hid behind Seo Ju Hyun. Ah, this guy is crazy. What are you thinking? Who is roasting who? Attack him. As he spoke, the fireball from earlier was also summoned by Seo Ju Hyun. As soon as he saw the fireball, anxiety was evident on Julian's face. He quickly used his The Holy Relic energy to counter the fireball from Ju Hyun's The Holy Relic. The heat of the fireball was so intense that even Lewis on this side could feel it. It was so hot, oh my god. A loud bang followed, and flames once again engulfed the entire area. Seeing this, the rope couldn't help but worry about him. Master, be careful, do you need my help? Causing it to unintentionally let down its guard against Lewis and let him go. Lewis took the opportunity to plan his escape. Jae-ha saw Ju Hyun fighting so hard and quickly reminded him. Boss, don't be too strong, you can destroy this tomb. And moreover, can you beat Miller? He has a very strong holy relic. You don't know Ju Hyun's true ability. Calm down, I won't lose a solo match. After all, if I have no other choice, I'll use another holy relic. On the other side, Julian seems to be a bit weak too. Seo Ju Hyun, since when did you get such a strong holy relic? Ju Hyun looked at the other person with a challenging gaze and said, what are you waiting for? Aren't you trying to attack me? As he was speaking, a rope appeared out of nowhere and attacked Julian. Hey, rope, I didn't tell you to do that. But it seemed like it didn't hear what Seo Ju Hyun said, continuing to attack. Damn string. Hey, wait. At this moment, Ju Hyun realized something was wrong. Rope, why didn't you hold the hostage? I tied it, the rope quickly replied. But when he heard him say, what are you tying? Then he realized that he was tying a rock, not Lewis. Oh, what the hell is this? This made Ju Hyun very unhappy. You let your guard down and that brat took advantage of your carelessness and ran away. Master, I'm sorry, this rope said. This is not your fault, it is our superhero's fault, and the superhero you are talking about is Julian Miller. Now it's fun, because you made a fuss and that kid ran away. Julian was still stubbornly arguing. I stopped you from becoming a child kidnapper. You should thank me. What Ju Hyun was worried about after letting Lewis escape was, damn it, he would report the situation to the US government. If that happened, he would be in big trouble. Cheer up, you've become that kid's superhero. Let's go, we're done here. With that, he left with a sour expression. Jae-ha saw this and worriedly said, boss, this won't affect anything, right? Should we go and capture that kid? It will be difficult if the US government is chasing us. We'll find the kid with the holy relic map. The piece of cloth from Lewis's shirt has been in Seo Ju Hyun's hands since when? Jae-ha was really surprised to see it. Since when did you get that piece of cloth? The Art of War catacombs have been successfully conquered. Besides bringing the holy relic the Art of War home, I also brought back a lot of information about the holy relic Da Vinci. The Art of War is a very useful holy relic. The holy relic allows the user to use 36 strategies in battle. But, I overestimated this holy relic, although Jae-ha was able to repair it normally. Besides recovering the holy relics, there are many other things that need to be done right now, one of which is finding out where Lewis Martin is now. I have information that the holy relic Da Vinci is in the Pentagon. It is not a place to come and go as you please. I need more information, so I need to find that kid. Captain, Lee Seola called out to him in a low voice. Ju Hyun heard her voice and quickly asked, have you found anything? But the answer was not what he wanted to hear. This was too difficult, he couldn't find any information about him. Why does a Frenchman like him have a special relationship with America? There are so many questions about that kid. Oh, and also. Besides America, it seems he also has a relationship with TKBM. This is very new information. More and more reasons to chase and catch this brat. Lee Seola also specifically added that, yes, and he was also appointed as one of the new kings of Pandora. His nickname is the King of Scammers. This nickname is somewhat familiar to Seo Ju Hyun, the King of Scammers. Yes, the King of Fire Island, as he recalled, was Jae-ha's nickname in his previous life. Then Ju Hyun has even more reason to catch him. He knows, that kid shouldn't have left, how dare he take his subordinate's nickname. But, this made him even more certain of one thing, that brat needed to be taught more. He didn't forget to remind Seola, of course information about Da Vinci is our top priority. Yes. I know the location, so I'll make sure to double check before we move. We'll do it right away, Seola insisted. But Seo Ju Hyun didn't want to act right away, he wanted to prepare carefully before doing it. I don't think we can move carelessly. That brat is not an ordinary child. We should prepare fully then move to catch him. Your job is to find out as much information as possible. I'll try to come up with a plan to catch that kid. I hope our plan won't fail. You don't have to worry about that because I've already planned everything. If the kidnapping plan fails, of course we'll use another plan. Right? At George Hilton's building. The phone kept ringing. Looking at it, who was calling? SEO Ju Hyun? What does he want? Hello, what do you need? George sighed and picked up the phone. Before he could say anything, he heard Ju Hyun complaining on the other end. You're taking too long. I have a lot of work to do, I don't have time to pick up your call. Hearing that, Ju Hyun quickly said, Hey, calm down, I have a few questions. Say something. What Ju Hyun wanted to ask was regarding the Pandora organization. At this time, in Pandora's rules, there are no regulations regarding the ownership of the holy relics for minors, right? No, do you think these rules need to exist? George still didn't understand what he meant. Seo Ju Hyun continued, children could get into trouble if they had something dangerous like the holy relic. George felt the same way. Yes, that was quite true. What Ju Hyun wanted the other party to do was, so complain a lot and tell the other Pandora members, make a rule of possessing the holy relics for minors. On the screens of shopping malls, the news that Pandora's new regulations regarding usage restrictions were announced today. Pandora raised some points regarding the rules for using the holy relic. This is a very hot topic all over the world. First, holy relics belonging to children under 12 years of age must be kept in the custody of their guardians or parents. Second, children need their guardians' permission to use holy relics. These rules were enacted to ensure that if an accident with the holy relic occurred, Pandora could find out who was responsible. Seo Ju Hyun was satisfied after seeing this news. George Hilton is working efficiently. Yoo Jae-ha mentioned this name and asked, George Hilton? Did you recommend him? He immediately replied, yes. Seo Ju Hyun continued, this rule is to restrain that brat Lewis Martin. Yoo Jae-ha was surprised again, Lewis? Don't you want to catch him yourself, why did you come up with these rules? He explained, if we can limit its activity, it will be to our advantage, we can exploit this rule if our kidnapping fails. You still don't seem to understand after listening, how to exploit the rules. Seo Ju Hyun continued to explain, do you remember the scam articles he did? At this moment, he suddenly realized something, he was the illegitimate son of him and that woman, don't tell me. Before he could finish speaking, he interrupted, yes, I will do so. Seo Ju Hyun's face now revealed a dangerous expression, if I became his father, I had the right to keep his holy relic, just to keep it for him. Jae-ha who was standing by saw that expression and immediately felt scared, what a scoundrel. He disagreed and said calmly, who told him to look for trouble with me? However, Yoo Jae-ha still felt something was wrong, but this was just a rumor in the newspaper, how could Pandora believe it? What really surprised me was what he said next, I asked Edward to do a DNA test. Looking at Jae-ha's panicked expression, he calmly said, why are you so surprised, of course I will change the test results. Yoo Jae-ha couldn't believe what he heard, do we really need to do that? Jae-ha continued to convince, everyone in the world would really believe that he was his father, was he sure about this? But it seems Seo Ju Hyun is really determined, this is necessary to get the holy relic Da Vinci, we can clean up this matter after getting the holy relic Da Vinci. After explaining everything he asked for, okay, now our main goal is to catch that brat Lewis, if you don't want a naughty nephew then prepare everything well. Hearing that, Jae-ha was startled and stepped back, don't drag me into your dirty plans. Jae-ha shouted, that was stupid. Lewis Martin on this side immediately became angry after hearing the announcement, he really didn't understand why Pandora had such rules. What was the point of this, did children need someone to supervise them when using the holy relic? Guinness Hauger saw him so angry and explained. This would be easy if your parents let you use the holy relic. Hearing that, he replied, I don't have parents. It continued, if General Kara were here, this wouldn't be a problem. Yoon Woo immediately revealed a greedy expression after hearing that. This might be a good opportunity for him to recruit this kid. This is a chance for him to receive a bonus from the chairman. He walked up to Lewis Martin and asked, even though you don't have parents, you can find a guardian, right? Why don't you look for that person right now? Yoon will continue to lead it, or if you want, I can introduce you to Chairman Kwon Tae-jun. Hearing that, his eyes lit up. Oh, is that okay? Of course, he continued, the president has noticed your talent for a long time. I'm sure he will agree to this. Yoon Woo kept persuading, if the chairman became his guardian, this would be very beneficial. With the guardian's consent, he would not be responsible for the use of the holy relic. Lewis Martin heard that and asked. You're right, can I contact him now? Yoon Woo quickly replied. Okay, I'll give you an answer soon. It was still having fun without knowing that it had been led into a trap. TKBM was a large company that had conquered countless the holy relics. I was sure I could take advantage of them. A few days later at Seo Ju Hyun's company. The phone rang loudly on the table. Seo Ju Hyun quickly picked up the phone. Yes, that's right, Edward. The person on the other end asked. Big bro, do you have some free time? He listened and replied. I'm doing the last check before I go catch that kid. So are the fake test results in yet? Edward replied. Sorry for calling while you were getting ready. The test results are in. But something strange is happening here. He heard that and asked. What is that? Edward asked him back. The hair you sent for DNA testing. Is that really the hair of two different people? Seo Ju-hoon answered without hesitation. Yes. How? He was a little surprised after hearing that. No, the results seemed a little strange. He told the story. I told them to fake the DNA test results. But the fake results were the original results. His next words completely stunned him. Later, analysis showed that the two hairs had a very high degree of compatibility. He couldn't believe what he heard and immediately asked again. What do you mean? Lee Seola heard the noise from inside the house and quickly ran out to listen. Next up is Yoo Jae-ha. Everyone seemed extremely curious. Seo Ju-hoon asked again. Are you sure about the test results? Edward also quickly replied. Sure. I also felt that this was very strange. So I had people check many times. And the result is still the same, that's why I asked if you sent two hair samples of the same person by mistake? Edward continued. Because these two models are too compatible. Even surpassing the compatibility between parent and child. The specialist said that this level of compatibility only happened to twins. He broke out in a sweat after hearing this. What was going on? Lee Seola spoke up now. What's the matter, Captain? Seo Ju-hoon said. I sent two hair samples of mine and that kid for Edward to do a fake DNA test. I took that kid Lewis's hair when he was tied up. And the remaining hair sample is Yoo Jae-ha's. He heard his name mentioned and immediately started in fear. He angrily questioned. Hey, why did you pull my hair? But he calmly said. I pulled your hair because you neglected your work. Work was piling up and you were sleeping. He continued to explain. Since the results will be altered, I don't think there will be any problem sending your hair. Yoo Jae-ha still didn't feel satisfied. I still didn't feel comfortable. The voice on the other end continued to ring. Is that Yoo Jae-ha there? The two samples that the boss sent me have a pretty high compatibility. You still don't understand. So what? Yoo Jae-ha was still bewildered. The other side continued to explain. This shows. You are the father of Lewis Martin. Yoo Jae-ha immediately held his head after hearing that. What the hell? This is too absurd. But Edward explained. It was just a mechanical result. There was nothing I could do. Numbers never lie. But he still couldn't believe his eyes. You're joking, right? If you wanted to fake the results, why would you need a DNA test? It was ridiculous. Edward patiently explained. At least we needed the original DNA results to change the results. And that was the result. Yoo Jae-ha continued to hold his head and cry. This was impossible. Jae-ha collapsed and hugged his arm and asked. Big bro, tell me. Is this a joke? Seo Ju-hyun didn't answer but asked again. Are you sure you're not doing something behind our backs? Jae-ha didn't understand. Why did he ask that? He replied. What else do you want to ask? Maybe you had a colorful past and you never told me. Jae-ha was angry after hearing that. What do you mean? I was dumped after a month of knowing each other at the age of 20. Seo Ju-hyun continued to tease. Congratulations to you, Jae-ha's father. Jae-ha cried painfully. Please don't make fun of me anymore. But this is strange. This level of compatibility goes beyond the level of father and son. Seo Ju-hyun asked again. Do you have a twin brother? Yoo Jae-ha was angry. Twin brothers? Do you think this is a Korean comic? What kind of twins are 20 years apart? Seo Ju-hyun smiled. Yeah. It's happening right in front of us. Yoo Jae-ha still couldn't believe it. How could this happen? Could it be that the test results were wrong? He replied. At first I also thought that the test result was mistaken. But after many experiments the result was still the same. How should this be explained? Seo Ju-hyun started to find things interesting. Lewis Martin, that kid. Maybe he wasn't an ordinary person. Yoo Jae-ha immediately agreed with him. Yes. I'm sure that kid is not normal. Lee Seola heard that and asked. Isn't he a normal person? She said. Could he be a holy relic? But he has the appearance of a human. Seo Ju-hyun explained. High-level holy relics can change their appearance at will. Take Nero, for example. He was very human-like. Thinking back, he was indeed. Right? He was very human-like. Seo Ju-hyun frowned. Next time I see that Lewis brat, I'll have to take a closer look at him. Yu Jae-ha was also very determined. That damn brat. He continued speaking. By the way, Edward sent me the test results. Jae-ha was surprised when he heard that. What do you want to do with the test results? He replied. I will make the most of the test results. He calmly said something that startled him. He could become its father without changing the outcome. Yu Jae-ha was angry. What? Now you want to give your child to me? Jae-ha continued to cry. No way. Don't do this, Seo Ju-hyun. Please. Calm down. I told you it was just a backup plan. If we can kidnap it, then that test might pass. But if it fails, you have no choice. You will be its guardian. After discussing, they set out together to carry out the plan. Seo Ju-hyun said as he drove. Get ready. We'll be at that kid Lewis Martin's place soon. He asked, Lee Seo-la. You have confirmed that brat's main location, right? She quickly replied after hearing that. Yes. Yu Jae-ha was trembling with fear. We must kidnap it successfully. Otherwise, I will become its biological father. Jae-ha was lost in thought. Was he really his son? Of course not. Obviously not. Impossible. Lee Seo-la spoke up. Stop. We're here. It's this building. He's in this building. Lee Seo-la suddenly spoke up. Ah, Captain, look. In front of them was the sight of Lewis Martin and Yoon Si-woo going somewhere. Seo Ju-hyun asked. What? That kid. Where does he want to go? Lee Seo-la also wondered. Isn't that Yoon Si-woo from TKBM? He replied. Yes, that's right. What are they up to? Keep watching. Don't let up. They're in the car watching. Get in the car. Looks like it's leaving. We have to keep an eye on them. He asked her. Lee Seo-la, can you tell Gildal to break into that car? She quickly replied. Oh, okay. Of course I can. Seo Ju-hyun made a plan. He would give the listening device, tell Gildal to put it on that car. We would know what they wanted to do. Lee Seo-la replied. Okay. I'll let you know if Gildal succeeds. Yu Jae-ha saw the red light. Red light. This is our chance. Gildal also quickly arrived here. Lee Seo-la spoke up. Please help me. After hearing the order, she immediately ran away. Very quickly she was at Lewis Martin's car. The listening device was also placed perfectly in the car seat. Lee Seo-la reported. It was a success. Seo Ju-hyun said. Okay. Let's hear what they have to say. She quickly turned on the remote control. The voice immediately came out. It was okay. Almost there. There was a constant voice coming from the other side. I understand. If you don't mind, after the meeting is over, we can go out to eat. There are many 5-star restaurants near the company. You can ask for anything you like. The president will buy everything. When he heard about the company, he wondered. Will they come to TKBM? Yu Jae-ha asked. If so, we will go into the enemy headquarters. Big bro, is it okay to go there? He was still thinking. Let's hear what they have to say first. It was Lewis Martin's voice. Thank you very much, the other replied. No need to thank me. It's your right. After the deal is successful, the chairman will be your guardian. Just say it, and the chairman will give you the holy relic. Yu Jae-ha heard about the holy relic and asked. What does this mean? Old Kwon will be Lewis Martin's guardian. Seo Ju-hyun also understood. He explained that due to the restrictions on the use of the holy relic that Pandora had put in place, since he had no guardian, Lewis Martin must have been very disappointed. Then TKBM offered him a solution. And of course, Old Man Kwon would not miss this rare opportunity. He must have been keeping an eye on the kid and now he has the chance to recruit him. Yu Jae-ha heard that and said, what they did was no different from our backup plan. He argued, it was different, our plan was not to use a guardian, but Lewis Martin's biological father. And coincidentally, his father was the one sitting behind me. Jae-ha got angry when he heard the words father and son. No, I'm not his father. Xiao Zhuhong teased, I expected this to happen more, but they acted much faster than I thought. If they sign the contract today, it will be troublesome. Li Xiaola also spoke up, oh no, what should we do? He smiled slyly, continuing our plan, kidnapping this damn brat. Yu Jieha seemed familiar, I knew he would do the same. In no time, those people were at TKBM Company. It was Louis Martin and Eunice Iwu entering the lobby. They quickly arrived at the back door of the place. Next to the sleepy soldier is a dangerous holy relic. It quickly attacked the back of his head. The other guard also fainted. Xiao Zhuhian appeared at this time, okay, breaking in is wrong. But we have to do it. Li Xiaola said, I will let Gildal check the location of the surveillance cameras. On the other side they have given the contract. The president brought the contract in front of Louis Martin and said, sign here and I will be your guardian. With it you can use the holy relic as you wish. He continued, and not only that, I will support you in every problem. Hearing that, his eyes lit up. Thank you very much. But he took advantage of it. Instead, I just wanted to know how to use the holy relic Da Vinci. It quickly instructed him. It was easy. If he asked the people in the Pentagon, they would let him use it. Although there weren't many people who could use this holy relic, I was sure he could use it. The chairman immediately looked happily at Yun Sai Wu after hearing this. He had found a child with extraordinary talent. He would receive a reward. Eunice Iwu was also happy after hearing this. Thank you, Chairman, for your consideration. Louis Martin also picked up the pen and signed the contract. I just need to sign here. Right? Before anything could happen, all the lights in the room suddenly went out. They were all confused. What was going on? Why was the power suddenly cut off? A bright spark also gradually appeared. They backed away in fear. Was this poison gas? Quan Taejun saw that and immediately shouted loudly. Damn it, we're under attack. Louis Martin was having difficulty breathing and coughing continuously. It looked around fearfully. It couldn't see anything. Behind it, a mysterious person appeared. He was quickly kidnapped. The chairman saw that and immediately gave the order. Quickly chase after the boy. All quickly chased after that bastard. The company's alarm lights also came on. Lock all exits. Everyone get in position. They kept yelling. Hurry up and catch him. Louis Martin, after waking up, immediately looked at the person next to him in panic. What is this? It's a ghost. Xiao Zhuhian also appeared beside him at this moment. How are you, my nephew? He asked. Are you that eager to find a supervisor? He smiled that evil smile again. But don't worry. You don't have to worry about guardians or rules now. It just looks at you and hates you. You again? From behind them suddenly came a shout. Stop. It was Yu Jieha and Li Xiaola. They were surrounded. The soldiers quickly surrounded them. Xiao Zhuhian was surprised. What a surprise. How did you find me so quickly? Eunice Iwu stood in front of them. The chairman ordered us to use the holy relic detector. So you're the commander? Xiao Zhuhian provoked. Hey, damn old man. I don't think it's possible to not use that brain. The other person was angry. You're in trouble. Bastard. It's Chairman Quan. He's gritting his teeth in anger. You stepped on a landmine. You think you can escape this time? Xiao Zhuhian. He gritted his teeth in anger. I will crush you into pieces. He still calmly teased. Really? Let's try. He laughed and said, don't be foolish. You better get down on your knees and beg for mercy. You won't stand a chance. He held out the contract as he spoke. Louis Martin has signed a contract with me. I am now his guardian. Seeing that, he thought to himself. Damn it, I thought I would kidnap him before signing the contract. But now. He kept showing the contract and threatening. If you don't return Louis Martin, I will ask Pandora and the international police to hunt you down. This is my right as his guardian. He was also angry now. Was that really it? Yu Jieha noticed that the situation was not good and stopped him. Big brother, don't say it. He continued. When it comes to the rights as a trustee, we have those rights too. Jieha was still helpless and kept on stopping. No, it's not like that. All of this left the stunned chairman confused. He finally confessed everything. He pointed at Yu Jieha and introduced him. This was Louis Martin's father. The chairman was furious. What nonsense are you talking about? Yoon Si-woo is no different. Hey, you bastard. Do you think you can fool us? He didn't explain but quickly took out the documents. Do you think I'm lying? Look at this for yourself. With that, he quickly threw it towards them. Chairman Kwon immediately got angry after reading it, leading to grinding his teeth. What is this? Both the chairman and secretary Yoon Si-woo couldn't believe their eyes. What is this? Seo Joo-hoon spoke up. This report proves that he, Yoo Jae-ha, is Lewis Martin's biological father. Not only the chairman but also Lewis Martin were stunned after hearing this. It screamed angrily. What nonsense are you talking about? But the Seo Joo-hoon remained calm as if it were a matter of course. What's the matter, Lewis? My lovely nephew. He continued. You made so many fake articles saying that I was your father. Now you can meet your real father. Shouldn't you thank me? He was screaming in anger. The whole article was fake. I just wanted to give you bad news. But you recorded it all. Okay, thanks for telling the truth. I recorded it. The chairman looked at him and said, Seo Joo-hyun? This report is useless. Do you think I will believe it? Did you alter the results of the report? He kept cursing. You are a scoundrel. You must have done it. Am I wrong? He tore it up in anger. This report was a false report. He looked at the chairman and smiled in response. If you don't believe me, you can have someone test it. I'm more than willing. Secretary Yoon Si-woo saw that his expression was a bit off. Chairman, he was very confident. But he didn't think so. His confidence would disappear after I had someone test him. He threatened. Look. Seo Joo-hyun, after everything is cleared up, I won't let you go. Old Kwon immediately had someone retest. At this point, he must have been very confident that the test was fake. He had someone waiting here to arrest me even though the test results weren't out yet. But once the test results come out, they won't be able to do anything to me. This prediction of mine will come true. Looking at the test results, they couldn't believe their eyes. What do you mean? He really is Lewis Martin's father. The results were like that. Seo Joo-hyun said confidently. Look. I'm not lying. But the president is still angry. I don't believe it. He looked at Lewis Martin and said. Lewis said he didn't have any parents. He replied. Can't you see? They both look very much alike when they're together. Right? He said cheerfully. Okay, since everything is clear. We will leave. Please step aside. He still did not accept. This was ridiculous. The old man trembled. I couldn't believe it. I lost a potential member right before my eyes. Seo Joo-hyun? You are. Before he could finish, he interrupted. Anything can happen in life. Goodbye, Chairman Kwon. After saying that, he quickly left, pleased. I did it. After successfully capturing Lewis Martin, I decided to go to the Pentagon. I couldn't stay long. I decided to take the train to the Pentagon. Before I got there, I needed to prepare. And Yoo Jae-ha was still in deep shock. This was the father. This was the son. The two of them were a family. One family. Seo Joo-hyun looked at the absent-minded person before him and spoke. Wake up, slave number one. How long do you want this to last? He replied gloomily. The news that I am this kid's father has spread everywhere. I want to die. Calm down, calm down. I will take care of it later. Lewis Martin, who was being held by them, was also angry. Hey, hurry up and settle this little mess. I don't want to go to the Pentagon with you. The holy relic that was tying him up was also threatening. You have to be polite to your uncle. He replied. Be quiet. I will not let you go until Da Vinci is in my hands. He kept threatening him. Just figure out how to get the holy relic Da Vinci out of the Pentagon and I'll let you go. If you can't do it, you'll have to stay with me for the rest of your life. Lee Seol-ah looked at the situation and it didn't look good. He didn't seem very cooperative. He wouldn't get in our way, would he? She continued. Besides, our enemy this time is the US government. He also replied. Don't worry. I will make him listen. He took out a holy relic and introduced it. This was just Shakespeare's holy relic. He could use it to make him act the way he wanted. We need to get him to talk. We need more details about the Pentagon. Remember what this kid says. This trick won't work twice. She was surprised. Isn't he strong? You can definitely control him. Seo Ju-hyun said confidently. Calm down. You are confident in controlling others. Suddenly on the train tracks in front of them appeared the strange holy relic. The whole train was shaking violently. They both felt something was wrong. It kept covering their train. In a moment a big explosion quickly occurred. Everyone on board was terrified. The holy relic rope is now also alarming. Danger, danger. A serious explosion occurred. The train derailed and went astray into a forest. It was still burning and moving around. It finally stopped and crashed. The holy relic rope protected Seo Ju-hyun. It asked, Master, are you okay? It seemed he was still fine and thanked it. He looked at everyone and asked, Ly-Seola, Ujeha, are you okay? They quickly replied, we're fine. He quickly let out a sigh of relief. It was good that they were okay. Before them was a fierce purple halo. What was going on here? Seo Ju-hyun spoke up. It seems we are trapped in a tomb. He was furious. Damn it. How did a tomb suddenly appear here? I don't feel the tomb energy and the holy relic energy. Lewis Martin was also angry and resentful. What kind of strange tomb appeared like this? The system screen displays a notification. The effect of the holy relic has accelerated the appearance of the tomb. Seo Ju-hyun was surprised. Did the effect of the holy relic speed up the appearance of the tomb? Did this mean someone had a hand in this? Is someone attacking this train? He asked Ly-Seola. How many people are on the train? She answered quickly. Not many. Probably a few dozen. He ordered. Tell Gildel to take the survivors to safety. This is not an accident, he explained. Someone is attacking this train. Be careful. We don't know what will happen next. It would be ridiculous if we died in this mess, he continued. Seo Ju-hyun took out an item from his pocket. Use this. The invisible necklace. This is an artifact. Gildel is very vulnerable to this holy relic. On the contrary, he thought the holy relic would also be useful when together with Gildel. Gildel appeared. Grandpa and you. We're on the same side now. Seo Ju-hyun was delighted. Just as he thought. There's a reaction. Let's try using those holy relics. Gildel stretched. It felt like I was getting stronger. Seo Ju-hyun requested. Now go evacuate the passengers. You have to be careful too. He looked around and thought. I think I should go out and see what the situation is like. Suddenly a voice rang out in front of him. What a surprise. This train had been completely destroyed. This voice. I've heard it somewhere before. This is the King of Destiny. He and his gang are coming towards you. This train is completely destroyed. It's really cool. His soldiers spoke up. It seemed that the ordinary passengers were also seriously injured. But he answered indifferently. Who cares? Who told them to take this train? He continued to speak calmly. If you want to find someone to take responsibility, then blame TKBM and Old Man Kwan. It's all because that old man tried to turn the king of fraud Lewis Martin into his subordinate. Find him and arrest him. On this side Jaeha and Lewis Martin were hiding together. He asked. Are they trying to chase you? Suddenly the holy relic rope came from somewhere and tied him up. It was Seo Ju-hyun. Whatever happens. I won't let anyone have this kid. Let's get out of here. Suddenly Lewis Martin broke free from the rope and disappeared. They were surprised. Damn. They had the holy relic kidnapped? Lewis Martin now appeared on their side. We had the king of the rogue. Lewis Martin screamed. Let me go. What are you doing? But the king of fate didn't seem to care. Our objective is complete. What am I doing with Seo Ju-hyun? Are you running away like a mouse now? Seo Ju-hyun. He looked crazy. If that's the case, I'll just blow up this whole train. The King of Destiny spoke. Our objective is complete. What am I doing with Seo Ju-hyun? He's probably running away like a rat right now. He had a crazy look on his face. If that's the case, I'll just blow up this whole area. Both Lewis Martin and his subordinates were a little scared. He ordered. Bring me the holy relic nuclear bomb. Seo Ju-hyun heard from afar and got angry. What? Nuclear bomb? That guy is crazy. Jae said fearfully. Big bro, he's going to use a nuclear bomb. We're all going to die. Joo-hyun calmly replied. Don't make a noise. We have to prepare some defensive holy relics. First, I'll use Aegis to counter the explosion. This holy relic was sad after he brought it out. Me again. I don't want to get hurt. The impact of the shock will be absorbed by Hammurabi. It will also help reduce the burden on Aegis. Nuclear bombs were also brought by his subordinates. End it all. His subordinates spoke up. Report. Target identified. Joo-hyun on this side gritted his teeth in anger. Damn it. He still happily ordered nuclear bombs to be launched at them. It was rushing towards him at a terrible speed. Very quickly nuclear bombs fell on their position. The holy relic Aegis created a barrier to protect them. But things don't look good. This damn holy relic is too strong. Nuclear bombs are one of the most terrifying weapons ever created by man. People's fear of bombs has spawned many holy relics of that type of bomb. In fact, some of the holy relics have more powerful explosions than the original nuclear bombs. That's because the holy relics were created out of fear of all the people on Earth. The nuclear bomb created a large crater after it exploded. He clapped his hands happily after seeing that. The King of Fate kept laughing loudly. Ha ha ha, very good. This is art. He thought happily, this explosion effect is amazing. But after the smoke cleared, he was surprised. What? Why is the ship still okay? He angrily shouted at his subordinates. Hey, are you sure you aimed correctly? Didn't I say to kill them all? He replied fearfully. Yes, I did as you said. But he was still very angry. Damn, are you kidding me? A voice came from in front of him. Calm down. Joshua. He saw him grit his teeth immediately. Joo-hyun. He spoke up. There are holy relics that are worth using. And there are also holy relics that are not suitable for using. Are you going over the line? He angrily carried the powerful holy relic behind him. You will pay for everything. An eye for an eye. An ear for an ear. A bomb blast will cost the same. The powerful aura from his holy relic continuously emitted, making him dizzy. It became brighter and brighter. Its aura was indeed oppressive. His subordinates were equally stunned. They are trying their best to hold on. Joo-hyun looked at them and smiled. So? How does the bomb taste? Seeing his men completely down, he stepped forward. That's the price you pay for confronting me, Joshua. Joo-hyun looked at Lewis Martin pretending to collapse with his subordinates and threatened. Get up, stop pretending. I'll count to 3. Jae said worriedly, it seems like he's seriously injured. Aren't you exaggerating, big brother? Now he started counting. 1, 2. Sure enough, he woke up before the 3rd hour. Jae was surprised, he was still alive. Joo-hyun explained, I tried my best not to let the explosion affect this kid. He was about to turn away when suddenly a voice came from behind, wait. It was Joshua who was walking towards him in pain. Joo-hyun, this idiot. He looked at him in surprise. Oh, I can't believe you were able to stand after that explosion. He said wildly, these wounds are nothing. I will recover in a few minutes. He glanced at one of his subordinates and said cruelly, you must sacrifice yourself for me. The other one was scared and begged, no, please, Joshua. But he still didn't care and still took action. What a cold-blooded guy. He quickly approached and grabbed his neck, draining his spiritual energy to restore his strength. Lewis Martin looked at the scene before him in fear. What was going on? Joo-hyun explained, he was a selfish bastard. He had now recovered and left his poor subordinate rolling on the ground. He sarcastically said to him, I feel sorry for your subordinates, Joshua. He angrily retorted, you have no right to say that, you have killed many of my people. He quickly responded, is that not okay, you were the one who attacked first. He continued, at least I didn't betray them like you. He didn't take those words to heart, well said, let's see how long you can last. Joo-hyun quickly called the holy relic rope over. It quickly engulfed Lewis Martin. He was angry, why did he tie me up? He looked at him and smiled, I won't let you run away like the last few times. He looked at the person in front of him and thought, maybe I'll have to be busy with this guy for a long time. Joo-hyun shouted, let's start. Jae above observed the situation and asked himself. Will Big Brother be fine? I don't need to help him, right? He had a manual catapult in his hand. Big Bro would fight him one-on-one. If anything went wrong, I would step in. But he was discovered. Joshua glanced at him. Kid, you think I don't know what you guys are planning? Ujeha was surprised. How could he find out? He interrupted, I won't let you use the holy relic to bother me. Very quickly after that, the holy relic he was holding in his hand quickly melted. Seeing that, Juhon immediately said, don't worry, let me deal with this guy. He looked at him determinedly, okay, let's play for real. That bastard, he used his own holy relic. The holy relic he uses is probably Nostradamus. The holy relic Nostradamus' ability is to control the future. Nostradamus was a physician, astronomer, and a highly respected man in France. He is famous for writing Les Prophéties, a book of prophecies written in poetic form. In the book of prophecies there are hundreds of predictions. From predictions of war to natural disasters, he wrote in this book. Some of Nostradamus' predictions have come true. The holy relic born from that story is a trump card that can help the King of Destiny turn the tables. The King of Destiny has two the holy relics that can predict the future. First is the Delphi Temple, a holy relic that gives him a picture of the future. It is a space holy relic that cannot be used in battle. The holy relic can give him a picture of the future when he sleeps in it. That's why he can only use the holy relic Nostradamus in battles. The holy relic is likely a class 5, Nostradamus core. This holy relic cannot show the future, but he can create the future. Once he says something, it can come true. The holy relic is very terrifying and a very difficult opponent. Thanks to Ujeha trying to attack him earlier, I can tell that he can now maximize the use of this holy relic. At this point, his mouth is a very terrifying weapon. He frowned determinedly. Seo Juhian takes out his own holy relic? If so, I won't give him a chance to open his mouth. Thinking that, he immediately rushed towards him. His axe blade quickly slashed through the man. But it seems he dodged it. He exclaimed, "You're good." He spoke contemptuously, "Before coming here I had a little training session, you won't be able to defeat me easily." He doesn't leave his room often, but he's basically a very talented person. I can't delay for a second, I have to defeat him as soon as possible. After saying that, he quickly swung the axe towards him. But once again it missed the target. Teleportation, could he use Nostradamus this way? He continued, "No way, Seo Juhian. You can't beat me, you know why, because you're going to die here." He was starting to get scared, damn it, he was starting to say it. He frowned, I was hoping this would happen. Seo Juhian once again picked up the holy relic and charged towards him. Joshua shouted, "Seo Juhian, at any time, you will not be able to kill me. Because you will die soon." He kept threatening, "But, how did you die?" He kept describing the scene of you dying under his hands. "You hindered us, so you should die in the most painful way. First your fingernails and toenails will be pulled out. Then the leg will break first. Then there will be a hole in the heart." While he was talking, he used all his speed to rush straight towards him. He didn't understand why it didn't go as he expected. Seo Juhian stood in front of him and raised his fist. "What nonsense are you talking about?" He immediately got punched in the mouth. He was not like he said, on the contrary, he was beaten down by him. He was in pain, not understanding, why, I already used the holy relic Nostradamus. He still kept approaching him. "You are the great king of fate, whatever you say will come true." He was scared and retreated. "Don't come here." Seo Juhian continued, "If you are the king of fate, then can you know what you will be like in 10 seconds? He walked up to him and grabbed his collar. Joshua yelled frantically, "What are you doing?" The sound of fists rang out again. Ujeha, who was watching this scene from above, was a bit surprised. He commented, "What king, he is actually like a speck of dust on a rainy day." Seo Juhian still kept punching him in the face. He was beaten by him until his teeth were broken and his nose was bleeding. Joshua quickly collapsed at his feet. But he still wasn't convinced. This was absurd. Why wasn't my power working? "You go to him, you just use the holy relic Nostradamus, and whatever you say will come true." He asked in surprise, "Why do you know that?" He calmly replied, "These things, I know everything from reading comics. It's too fictional to be true, like I said, but how do you combat these fictional things?" Suddenly at that moment, this thought just popped into my head: no matter how great a prophecy is, more than words, it will be useless if no one listens. He was lying on the ground but still tried to get up and asked, "Ear, do you have earplugs?" He pulled something out of his ear. It wasn't just an earplug, it was a holy relic. He introduced it, because it was so noisy, my ears couldn't hear anything. It had the best non-stop songs and some extremely cool Vina House songs installed. He was stunned and asked, "There's also the holy relic." He continued to introduce, "It also has a few more chapters to read." Seo Juhian admired himself. Even though it was just a test, he didn't expect it to be extremely effective, but it hurt his ears a bit when he wore it. He kept cursing him, the shameless bastard. Joshua tried to get up. Damn it, by using that trick, you only temporarily neutralized my attack. He frowned and thought to himself, now he had to find a way to deal with it. He slowly walked towards him. Come on, let's end it here. But he raised his hand to stop him. Wait, don't rush. He tried to convince him, calm down, sit down and make a deal first, this is a great deal. But he was full of energy, drew his weapon, and said nothing. I couldn't hear anything. Seo Ju-hyun asked him, what happened to you, do you want to make a deal with me? Suddenly he said something that scared him, but never mind, I don't want to talk to you much. He quickly swung his knife across his neck, syrup quickly spraying out in a terrifying manner. Both Lewis Martin and Jae-ha were shocked to see this scene. Oh my god, his head is rolling around like a chicken's head. Jae-ha asked in surprise, big brother, kill it, he replied, there's nothing to be surprised about. He replied as if he knew everything, that name was just fake. The person in front gradually changed appearance. Seo Ju-hyun said, it seems the owner of this body is a prisoner. Somehow, this body was controlled? Lewis Martin asked worriedly, but was it definitely fake? He replied, sure, but he didn't expect that guy to go find a body double. Jae-ha looked down and said, so this is just a corpse. He continued speaking, but the operator might suffer the consequences of this blow. Specifically, when I cut the corpse's neck, the pain will immediately be transmitted to the controller. On this side, he was really holding his neck and screaming non-stop. His subordinates saw this and immediately ran over. Joshua, what's wrong? He said painfully, my throat hurts so much. He looked really miserable, I couldn't get out of that body in time, he slit the body's throat and I was also involved. The other person saw that and asked, are you okay? With the cut clearly visible on his neck, damn, the feeling of being cut still remained. He was angry, the body was taken, this time he failed. He got out of bed, is there another body this time, I have to make a new one. Joshua kept searching for information, where was he, this time he had to handle this guy more carefully. He finally found the news, asking for Seo Ju-hyun's elimination. But it doesn't seem very useful, why is there so little information on this name, all the information is already written in here. He looked at what was written on the newspaper and thought, this is enough for me to come up with a new plan to deal with you. I don't know what John Smith was like, but he is supposed to be an example. He smiled a sly smile, Seo Ju-hyun, see you again. On this side they have gathered all the passengers on the last train. Seo Ju-hyun asked Lee Seo-la, are the passengers here all there? She replied, Gildal will now bring the last 4 people. Thanks to the holy relics bestowed by the leader, Gildal became much more capable. The rescue ended quickly because I was able to use some ghosts. He continued to ask, then, is it completely over now? She replied, yes, but I'm worried because there are quite a few injured people. He threw a bag towards her and said, now, I will give you medicine from the borocho fruit, if anyone is about to stop breathing, use it. Seo Ju-hyun said then turned his head in another direction, and I will rob this crypt as quickly as possible, I need you here to protect those passengers and Lewis Martin. He looked at Jae-ha and said, follow me, hearing that, he got angry, why is it just me? He smiled and replied, because you are my #1 slave. He reluctantly followed, well, I understand. The two of them walked and talked, Jae-ha spoke up, but this tomb, why does it feel familiar? Seo Ju-hyun felt the same way, I know, right, I feel like I came to the mountains of Korea for some reason. He was shaking with fear but still pretended, well, the scenery was beautiful. Seo Ju-hyun looked forward and announced, the crypt was right in front of us, he could feel it. In front of them was a poetic river, and above it was a shining palace. He explained, looking at the shape of the building, it was an old holy relic in Korea. He exclaimed, it looked beautiful. From ahead of them came a voice, the guests have arrived. It continued to say, what are you standing there for, come here, he exclaimed, or give me a look at the holy relic area. A boat appeared in front of them along with a voice, now I will give you 2 a hand, cross Wolji. He asked, surpass Wolji now? It is the ruins of Gyeongju. This holy relic is most likely the holy relic of Silla. He called Jae-ha, let's get on the boat, even if there was another boat, it wasn't certain we could go. Seo Ju-hyun said, first, let's get on the boat. Jae-ha hesitated, getting on the boat, wait, even if it's to the holy relic, is that okay? He was worried, who knew if the boat would capsize or if a monster would appear in the middle of the lake. He reassured him, it's okay, it doesn't look like a dangerous the holy relic, it's obvious from the way the holy relic area talks. He continued speaking, looking at the way it was surrounded by Wolji, I could roughly tell its true form. He stepped onto the boat first, so let's go. But he still didn't fully believe it, it was crazy, really. The holy relic kept talking, how nice it is for you to come, just when I was bored to death. When you get off the boat, please go to the watchtower in front, I have prepared everything. The two of them were just like that, taken by boat to the holy relic. Finally they arrived, they walked up the stairs together. Ujeha looked around and said, there was no preparation, really didn't know if he should continue going or not. Suddenly the two of them stopped. In front of them were rows of tables and chairs with food and wine spread out. What the hell, what are these wine tables? Ujeha couldn't seem to resist the lure of the food here, this aroma. Seo Juhian thought to himself, as expected of the owner of this tomb, as I correctly guessed the appearance of the holy relic. Wulji is a place inside the Silla Palace surrounded by an artificial lake, for banquets and enjoying the scenery. In the mud at the bottom of this lake, there are also many holy relics, among which there is a very famous one. It's a 14-sided wooden dice, Ju Ryangu, each side has a different sentence written on it, if asked what the content is. Dancing without music, drinking 3 cups of wine at once, composing a poem and more. In short, it was the instrument that determined the punishment of the drinking game of the time. Drinking games have been played since ancient times, how interesting. This story soon spread, enough to give birth to the holy relic. He looked at the tables filled with wine and food, these were prepared, 99% of them were the holy relic. The holy relic spoke, please help yourself. Seo Juhian replied, then I won't be polite. Ujeha seemed convinced, is that okay, the scent is great. But he sat down, it was okay, he wasn't the type to play with food. He also slowly sat down, really, it felt good, a free meal.